Hello everyone. Before we get started on this week's episode, just a quick word that YouTube in all its infinite wisdom has decided that some of the Die Party games are now not suitable for advertising. It doesn't mean a whole lot for the content. I'm not going to censor the videos in any way, but if you'd like to lend your support so that Die Party can continue to grow, please check out the Patreon or subscribe on the Twitch channel. Enjoy the episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Die Party Dead Man's Crest, a weekly 7th Seas 2nd edition role-playing experience that we do right here on Twitch every week without fail. Everyone's here all the goddamn time. It's amazing. It's the best show that's ever been made, but that's not the case. Sometimes people have real life, but this time we have the amazing good luck that everyone is here today. We have an entire crew, so the plot can progress. Oh, I love it. So let's go around and introduce everyone who will be playing with us today. Mr. AP Gaming Real, hello sir. It has been a hot minute since we talked to you. What's been going on, man?
Is a hot minute exactly 1 week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's tough to know, because a New York minute is shorter than a regular minute. So it's hard to know how long a hot minute is.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Gabe.
I miss Max Payne too.
The Fall of Max Payne?
Yeah, I miss all those Max Payne games. I actually really like the third Max Payne game a lot, and every time I hear that phrase, I always think of Max Payne. I don't know why.
When you're staring down the barrel of a gun, time slows down.
You soon resubbed for 13 months.
Yeah,
Ooh.
That was Max Payne 2. Whole time. Yeah, I mean, I got my new show, and then another show just wrapped up yesterday, and so I'm gonna launch another new show.
Oh, what's the new show, and what's the show?
Saga of the Icelanders is gonna be the new show.
Oh, you doing that again?
Yeah, we're doing that again. Tuesday nights.
On a scale from one to anime, how anime is it?
Look, man, everything I do lately is anime. Let me tell you, my two most popular shows now are about 4 middle-aged men who ride around in giant mechas and blow everything up, and then go through midlife crises and figure out how to do budgeting for their employees. My other second most popular show is about 4 schoolgirls who go out onto the ocean and are the reborn spirit of World War II warships. And then they come home and have tea, I guess. I feel like there's a formula somewhere in there that I need to work out. Popularity magic. The only common thread is things with giant weapons on them.
Look, man, Vinland Saga is real good, okay? Vinland Saga is real fucking good.
Are we in 2 different places? I'm talking about Saga of the Icelanders.
Yeah, it's a Viking fucking anime, dude.
Oh, it's a Viking anime.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a Viking anime. I'd never heard of one before.
Vinland Saga is like
All right.
fucking
really solid.
I'm looking it up
really
now.
good.
I never heard of this.
Yeah, it is really good.
Hopefully
It
it's on
takes
Crunchyroll.
like story wise, it kind of takes a 180 in the manga, about 100 episodes in.
I would
Still
say
very good. It just
Yeah. I would-
explores the character in a different way, which I actually really enjoy.
Yeah, I would say that the first 100 chapters, volumes, or whatever the fuck it is, that's just an introduction to the actual protagonist.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's-
the first portion of the anime as well as the manga is, hey, here's this kid's life up to a point. And then it's like, oh yeah, cool. Now we're doing something else with this guy. And it's good. It's not like Berserk where it's like, hey, here's one anime. Here's a low fantasy medieval war anime. Oh no, now we're doing demons and shit. Sorry. Fuck everything you love and no.
There's nothing supernatural really about it.
No.
It's just straight up, like, Viking badassery.
All right. Well, if I didn't have enough manga to read already, I now do.
Seriously though, Vinland Saga is just like every time I see an episode of Vinland Saga or a chapter of Vinland Saga, Hajime no Ippo, or I think that's about the only two that I fucking like.
Are you all caught up on Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah, and I'm really.
You need to be watching Megalobox. Megalobox, motherfuckers.
Ah man, I don't know. Hajime Ippo is like the
Megalobox.
That is not the way I expected it to go, and I'm not happy about it.
Me neither. I'm not fucking happy about it either, dude.
You need to be watching Megalobox. It's like what would happen if Hajime no Ippo had a child with Samurai Champloo.
Ooh,
that's the
it is all 100% style, flash, aesthetic. It's about people who robot box. They strap on like back machines that help them punch faster and dodge faster. And then one guy gets in the ring and is like, I'm going to fight without one. And everyone's like, oh shit, I can't believe he's going to go pure boxing. And he's like, that's right. They call me Joe.
And then he gets murdered because robot-enhanced boxing is better than human boxing.
Hasn't happened yet, my friend.
All right. And you know what? I saw a couple of videos on that. And I'm like, man, that looks dumb.
It's amazing.
But if there's like an actual like protagonist that's like old school boxing, does he do like reference like actual real boxers at all?
It sounds like they reference Hajime no Ippo a ton. Like I haven't seen it, but every time I go on the Reddits, they're like, this is something that happened in Hajime no Ippo. And I'm like, okay.
Dude, Hajime no Ippo is so fucking good.
So good.
So good. It's like the default basic bitch, like amazing fucking manga. Even the anime is like fucking top tier though. Like,
yeah, but there's so many people who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Like, we love Naruto, we love anime.
No, you haven't seen Hajime. Fuck off.
How about that Hajime no Ippo? And they're like, what? Like, get out of here.
Why would I want to watch a boxing anime? Because it's fucking amazing.
What was it? Someone doesn't particularly like anime.
Hajime. Yep. Hajime.
Look,
Go watch
if you're
that
looking
shit.
for an anime for people that don't like anime, you got to start with Kill la Kill.
What is anime?
No, dude, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Kill la
give
Kill.
you can't give
Kill la
someone
Kill.
an anime that would make them embarrassed.
No,
you can't do that.
I can back this one up. Pure facts.
Pure facts.
Kill la Kill is a 9.8 anime. It's one of the greatest animes that's ever been made by one of the greatest studios that's ever made anime when they were at their top prime. I mean, these are the guys that made Gurren Lagann, and they're making Darlin and the Franxx.
You're all just saying random words.
That's true.
Aren't you?
I am. Here's the important part about Kill la Kill. It is a show without a genre. It encompasses so many different genres of anime that if you can get through the entire thing, you can handle literally any other anime. It's got like magical girl shit. It's got like seinen shoujo fighting.
James,
it's got like...
I will summarize the anime for you. Chicks use their clothes to fight.
Yes. Also, a giant pair of scissors.
I used to go around with some friends, and they used to have anime on, and it was really weird shit with tentacles and stuff, and it was just bizarre, and I didn't understand.
That's not anime. That's hentai, my friend.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, okay.
That is different.
Okay, well, I didn't understand any of it, and I kept asking questions because there was like one with this little ninja bloke that would keep going, "Hey, you guys," and I don't know what that was.
Naruto, probably.
I think this is a trap. He's just like listing things in hentai to see who goes.
Seriously,
and then
seriously,
you're the guy.
We used to go out, before roleplay. They used to have a video on of something like generally like weird anime shit, and I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't understand Bible Black until I watched the whole thing either.
Well,
I'm kidding.
I'm in the dark on all of it, to be honest. So don't feel bad, James.
Now, if you want to get an anime, Hajime no Ippo or Viking Saga. Viking Saga, I swear to God, a Vinland Saga. All right. Vinland Saga is like, what if manga wasn't manga? And I'm like, what? It's not. It's almost like a fucking Marvel comic book, to be precise. Like it's insane. It's like
it's hardcore historical without being actually historically accurate.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's entertaining. It's like, but it's not. It's at the same time, it doesn't like, you know how like in manga they do that stupid shit, or anime where they do that stupid shit where they like leave all their expressions behind, and they do like that really simple shit. They don't really do that a lot in Vinland, and they still get their point across, so they don't go for cheap shit. Oh, and you know, you're into mech shit, right, Arthur? The other one that I'd recommend.
Yes, Dave, I'm into mech shit. That's the exact genre I enjoy.
Yeah. So the one thing I would recommend you I don't know if there's an anime about it. There probably is, but 21st Century Boy or 20th Century Boys.
Never heard of it. I'll have to look it up.
It's basically about like, what if some kids who were friends, one of them became a villain when they became an adult, and part of his villainous scheme was to build like a giant robot that took over Japan, right? It's actually really, really good, right? And so these kids get back together to stop their old friend from, you know, becoming a villain. And part of the plot of the story is like, yo, the reason why we don't do mechs is because when you drive one, you get so fucking sick, you vomit everywhere. Like, and it's literally just about like shit like that. It's really, really good. I would recommend you read it. It's kind of short too, I guess.
Does
I don't know. Yeah.
Does Robotech count as anime?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I've watched Robotech. That's based off Matt Goss.
But Arthur, what was the game that ended for you? We got off topic like real quick there.
Restart. My full anime game. You know, gone 18 weeks. Did a full arc. They defeated the Demon Lord in the weirdest way possible.
Do you want to say what it was?
No.
Okay.
That would be spoilers.
Okay. Well, Vinland Saga is no. Why do I keep saying Vinland Saga? Iceland Saga is
Saga of the Icelanders.
Saga of the Icelanders is an interesting one. I remember it. I've never really been a big fan of Powered by the Apocalypse games, but
I know.
Why exactly did you choose that one again?
One of my players requested that we do Viking style.
Is that the only Viking game that you can think of?
Yeah, pretty much. Can you think of a Viking game?
Not really, no. Like,
it's tough.
like I would probably do like D&D flavor Viking, but like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Eugene, hello, sir. It has been a couple of hot minutes since we talked to you.
Been a while.
Yeah. What's been going on, man?
I mean, nothing too terribly interesting. A lot of work, some health issues. You know, things were good, but the wife had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then some more work. I think in the last month, I have less than 15 hours of gaming time.
Wow. Welcome to extreme adulthood. Damn, dude.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to see everything's coming back together for you. By the sounds of things. Hope that continues at least.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Here's hoping, yeah. But you know, there's probably a lot to catch up on for you with this game. But
I heard I was talking to AP James and Prylor, you know, before the show. While you had gone off, they complained bitterly about how you were so mean to them that they simply just had to leave the Emerald Isles, go back to the island because you kept making dicks.
He does this. He throws us all under the bus. He did it to me like at the very beginning in Shadowrun, I think. He just threw me under the bus. He does it. So just ignore whatever he says because it's just bullshit.
Yeah, I'm absolutely lying. None of them complained. They all said amazing things. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised Prylor didn't choke how deep your dick was down his throat. But hey, it's okay. I'm glad to be back.
Nice, welcome back. Speaking about deep dickings, Prilo, what up, sir? How you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah.
It's people who
I've
sleep.
been
I noticed.
nice. I've been. I played my placement matches in Paladins. Won
Yeah, you
every
did.
one that the game didn't crash. So that's good. And then I won everyone that there wasn't a hacker, a blatant aimbotter. So that sucked as well. But I mean, if the game doesn't crash, and I don't have aimbotters against me, I win. So that's kind of unfortunate. But I'm trying to get into some Conan. I think I'm gonna join an RP server.
Mm-hmm. The problem that I find with those RP servers, like, I don't know what you want to get out of Conan. Like, what do you want to get out of Conan? Because for me, I just want to, like, gear up and tackle the PvE stuff, right? I'm looking at it purely from a gameplay objective.
Yes.
And you can't really do that on a PvE server because, like, progression, for the most part, is halted by, like, you having to convince randoms to do it. But I just... Like, we just got the cockpit together, we joined a server, and we're just like, alright, dudes, let's smack out some fucking bosses, you know? Like,
yeah.
So,
And you don't think you can get enough people in an RP server to knock out
dude,
PvE
it took
stuff?
4 people to kill an elephant in Conan. And elephants just roam around. They're just walking around, you know? Like, that's what I'm saying. It takes people. Like, people need to be putting spears inside of fucking booty holes in that game. It's an issue of manpower more than anything else. And there's undead fucking, like, dragons and shit walking around in that game.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I kind of can see it. I've never done an RP on any, like, actual game, so I kind of want to just try it out as well and see what it's like.
Which server are you joining? Like Twitch RP?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Dark Side RP.
I can put your name forward if you want.
A ton of Twitch people that are in Dark Side.
Yeah, I would recommend Dark Side as well. Outside, like, I found it very hard to join in Dark Side, to be honest with you. But
I mean, I have a few people that already are, like, trying to get me in there. So
yeah, no,
I don't know how it works. I don't know if having more helps or what. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, generally what happened to me when I joined Darkside, and this is probably not going to be the experience for anyone else, like, it got to a point when this is for Arc, right? I joined Darkside RP, and I was expecting to, like, interact with people and sort of, like treat it as, like, a, you know, almost like a role-playing game. But it's not. It's basically, like, at some point you're just playing Arc, and that's it. Like, and I was like, huh, okay, well, that's not really what I want, but... You know, I was expecting to, like, get swept up into a big epic story or some shit, and, you know, even when people were on, that wasn't the case. Like, I spent 45 minutes in character talking about cookies in a Viking place, and I was like, okay, you know. It wasn't really what I wanted, but, you know.
What kind of cookies?
Exactly, right? That was the question. That was the question.
Are they gluten-free?
Oh, and the other thing is, too, like, RP servers are notorious about, like, removing all of the gaming aspect of the game, especially Darkside. Darkside's just like, okay, you're max level. And you hit one resource node and you get all the resources you want. Right? So they don't care about...
Grinding.
Not so much grinding, but the actual game of that game.
Yeah.
Like, so...
Well...
I haven't had anything but good experiences in role-playing servers, so
yeah, but they're probably
I'm your yin to your yang.
Yeah, a lot of people want out of that game that is different than what I want out of that game, though. So,
do you play on the dark side?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, are you gonna, like? I don't
I
know how it
haven't
works.
joined the Conan yet, but
I was gonna say, does that mean
it.
if you're on the Arc, can you just get into the Conan, or how does that work?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what I've been told. I haven't checked really.
So I mean,
been doing other things at the moment.
If you wanna, you know.
Yeah, you just have to really get an invite to the Discord, and basically every time that you like want to join a season, you just make a character, and then, or you write on the Discord what your character is, and then they approve it and let you in. Pretty much, like that's how it worked previously. So.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the Discord is limited to the people that have been pre-vetted, I guess, right? So
I mean, it's. I don't mind them having some way of controlling who gets on the server because
no, that's
I don't
fine.
want
That's
just random people.
Yeah, exactly right. But you know, I
come grief you and.
Darkside is not what I want if I want to play Conan. You know, like
yeah, I can understand that because like even if I get into the RP server and if I don't get to the loot and the end game content that I want, I'll probably play it. I'll probably jump on your server possibly and just be like, "Yo, what's up?" and help out and see what and level up there.
Conan's kind of interesting though because I'm running into a lot of lag with that game, and I'm pretty sure it's just because it's just
really
Conan, yeah, and it's especially apparent because like it comes down to a lot of the combat comes down to like, okay, I just made it through killing 3 people at the same time. And if you get a little bit of lag, it can very easily put you behind and kill you and stuff. So,
though I have been watching it a bit, the combat apparently has been revamped since the start.
Oh yeah, no, the combat is
way
considerably better. It's still...
is archery viable at all?
I mean,
because I remember it really.
So archery is
something weird about it.
Archery
in
is
the beginning. I can't remember.
There's no like combo systems for archery, but like for example, if you shoot someone in the ankle, you can cripple them and stuff like that. So there, archery is archery. There's a skill tree for it, and it's not amazing. But they've always stated the focus of their thing is to there's explosive arrows and fire arrows and stuff like that. But like the focus of the game isn't to like make everyone have to use arrows. In fact, the opposite is true. In a lot of cases, you have to use melee weapons.
No, I was going to say that the problems I've had with it is that I put so much points into archery when I played it, when it was first released, that it never really paid off. And I put a couple into melee weapons or whatever to strength, and I started to kill things much easier just with the melee weapons. And it seemed like archery was just there to, I don't know, tag mobs.
Yep, it's pretty much the same. I mean, late game archery is very strong though, because you get stuff like armor penetration and shit like that. But yeah. Anywho, James.
Yeah.
What up, sir? How's it going?
It's all right.
Talk to me, baby. What's been going on?
I've been doing RPG shit all day already, and nice. I've got more now. And we did something on Monday, and I did nothing yesterday except start watching Avatar again, as I said, offline.
He likes blue people.
No, not that Avatar, you silly son.
Ah, you mean Fern Gully? No, I love that movie.
Last Airbender, right then, whatever.
I don't know, man. Like I really like that, but I hate the way they treated it, to be honest with you. But, yeah.
Treated what?
Avatar.
What, the Last Airbender?
What, just the Avatar name in general. Like the last season, whatever it's called, the one with the new Avatar, like
Korra,
yeah. She that whole season was rushed, and Nickelodeon like pulled a lot of funding from that show and all that crap.
I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed Legend of Korra as well. I enjoyed both of them. Yeah. I think I preferred Avatar a little bit more, but I think Korra did more adult themes. I guess because the audience had aged, so they perhaps aimed it at the same audience they had for Avatar. That's what I can only assume.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so weird when a good piece of like TV show or whatever gets caught up in money problems like that. So is what it is. Yeah. Well, what else have you been up to?
I started watching it because I watched what's it called? What's the robot? What's the giant robot thing with the lions? Voltron. Is that anime?
Yes, technically.
What's the giant robot thing with lions? Like, what? I can't help you there. I don't know. Yeah.
Because allegedly they did Avatar, so I thought I really enjoyed this, so I went and started watching Avatar and just fell in love with it. But yeah, anyway, what else have I been doing? Worked a weekend. Had 2 job interviews this week. That went well.
Are you going for something full-time rather than part-time?
Both. I went for a part-time and a full-time job.
Man, jeez. It's a lot.
Well, hopefully one will come through.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to you, man. Best of luck. Okay, well, shit. Now that the intro's done, let's get into some boating. Let's get into some pirating. So, last time we played this game, our party managed to make it all the way over to the Emerald Isles, sell a boat, and basically try and find work that was suitable for their morale. Oh, no, not morale. Their, what's the word I'm fucking looking for here? Yeah, suitable work that they wanted.
Morality.
I knew I had the right word. Anyway, given that they got what they wanted and the mission still wasn't up to their standards, they chose to ignore. Who was it that gave it to them? It was Admiral Walker, I think it was, right? No, Admiral Marshall. That's what it was. Admiral Marshall.
Yes.
He gave Rapier a mission about blockading Perez? No, not Perez. It's a car name. Come on, you can remember it.
Thrin?
Say that again?
Was it Prylor's place?
Yeah,
Thrin?
it was. Thrin, yes. That's what it was. Thrin. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, there was a blockade that was going around Thrin that the players were kind of recruited to. So there was a gold ship that was leaving Thrin under the guise of a last-ditch effort by the Thrin Navy. And the crew here was somewhat tasked with the retrieval of the treasure hold of that gold ship, but also to bring it back to the Marshal without alerting the other continents. They turned it down though, so they went back home so that they could drop off their I guess the sale of the previous boat, which they got 3 hold for, and they ended up bringing back 2, right? So you have ended up bringing back 2 because you made it back to the island before time elapsed and you had to pay your crew, and that's kind of where we catch up on right now. So you guys are back on. Did you guys ever name the island? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's Wizard Island.
Wizard Island. Right. You guys are back on Wizard Island. And that's where we start our session today. On Wizard Island.
Just as a question.
Yeah, go for a moment.
I'm assuming since they were all negotiating with admirals and going to brothels and getting peed on, Eric was out doing something, yes?
You're affected with the salty butt stuff. I don't know. Did you have anything that you wanted to do in like the interim? Because you were on the ship for the most part, but we didn't really get to cover that so much.
I mean, I would have liked to go to the market and buy some seeds for the island.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you could have like small stuff like that. Absolutely possible. What is there anything in particular that you wanted to purchase?
Well, I would like to buy some wheat.
Okay,
seed.
so if we're talking like an island's worth of wheat seed, like you're probably bringing back like you would probably have to swap a hold for that because you only had one boat. It's less
I
about
don't
like
need an entire island's worth of seed. One barrel of seed would be able to start a multiple fields of wheat.
yeah. So it's less about this the cost of it and more about like the space
But
required to.
all of this is academic. I'm not trying to bring an entire island back. I want to start growing wheat so that I can start having ale brewed on the island for my pirates.
Either way, we have an open slot, do we not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you would fill it up, no problems.
It's a mute point.
It really is a mute point. But just so you know, in the future, like bringing back that sort of shit requires hold. And,
Okay, well, if we have a hold space, then I'm going to get all sorts of fruits and veggies that I grew back in Prius.
Yep.
That I am familiar with growing as a farmer. And
so maybe we can also get your sort of reaction as to like the war that was being created or being fought by Prius and the Emerald Isles against Thrin.
I mean, that's what, like, to be entirely honest, my character would have been all for blockading the shit out of Thrin and taking their shit. Yeah. Because those bastards, as far as I am aware, were responsible for the raid on my village. So I have gotten over. Like I'm not going to judge a man by the nation he's from. So me and Bjorn are all right, but in general, Thrinians are dicks, and I hate them.
Yep. All right. Well, that's
not going to judge them from where they're from, but they're dick.
Yeah, yes, Stone.
I've had an idea in my head for a bit.
Lay it on us, lad.
So, well, before we left, like, and got shipwrecked on that island and we had to, like, talk to that stupid bitch.
The Red Island and the sand.
Yeah, well, no one's at war with Prezia. Is it Prezia?
Yeah, Prezia. Mm-hmm.
No. Where do you live,
Prius.
Bjorn? Prius.
No. Bjorn lives in Thrin.
Thrin. Do you reckon it could be linked to the fact that you have no love of your land anymore or something? Maybe that's what caused the war.
I have no idea.
Lad, you'd be thinking his curse caused a war.
Well, yeah. They've gone back to their old ways, so he has no love for it.
It's an interesting thought.
I mean, you guys don't know how far spread the curse's power goes, because for a lot of you, it's very personal, right? Or very like
I don't even know what mine is anymore. I've forgotten.
You gave up your fear.
You gave up your fear, but not your feelings. You still go to the other side of the island and cry and skip rocks.
Yeah. So, with all that information and the fact that you've come back, it's been a couple of weeks. You guys have done whatever it is that you need to do, and much like, I imagine in that time, interim time, you guys have like had the island set up and all that sort of stuff, and you've brought back news of the world around you and all that sort of shit. But is there anything in particular that you guys wanted to do while you're here, or is there anything that you guys wanted to accomplish before you head like now that you can head out again?
Oh, I'm going to take the stuff that I got, and I'm going to teach some of the, the younger pirates how to actually effing farm.
I think you'll find that a lot of them aren't willing. Like, they're people of the ocean, not land workers. So, like, again, this is a... If you want this place to be more than it is, you're going to have to find people that want to do that. They have a want or a need. So
I heard we found a fisherman.
Yes, there is a fisherman. And he is part of the NPC group that you guys have. I think he is... you gave him the other boat as well. You gave him the skimming zone to do his fishing duties with.
His name is Ali Cunningham.
Yes, I do remember. Ali Cunningham. He's a level 5 NPC.
So, lads, while you were talking to admirals and did you happen to talk to any merchants about possible trading routes or other pirates that may be prowling the waters?
I think we tried to, but we just ended up in dead ends all the time, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Rapier?
A lot
I
of
think
the...
that's what happened.
That sounds about right, yes.
The official direction that island went to, because you talked to the Navy mostly, they were more interested in recruiting pirates to work in the blockade under the guise of, working for the government. But, as Rapier so eloquently put, I don't want to be paid to be sitting around doing nothing. Because essentially that's what the blockade would have been. But, yeah.
Lad, I don't quite get the turning down good money to not work very hard, but all right. I was on the ship, so a decision had to be made. Well, I've got the seeds planted in the ground and some lads watching over them. I think they'll remember to water them. I'm not sure, but
there's a total of 14 people that you guys have at your disposal, so there's not a lot of people to do shit like that thing.
I basically put the seeds in dry storage, waiting for us to find somebody who can, we control the weather on the island. It's not like I have to worry about planting season. Anywho, lads, I think it's about time we do an honest bit of pirating.
Well, there's a problem with that.
I have a very serious issue with that particular subject.
His honor.
Have you considered doing
but as we discussed, Rapier, when I say a good bit of pirating, I mean we go find some pirates and we kill them and take their stuff.
I'm 100% behind this plan.
I know, Rapier. It's what we had discussed a while back.
Well, sometimes, you spent so long on the toilet shitting. It's not clear whether you would remember.
Listen, sometimes my tummy gets a bit rumbly. It happens when you're my size. You just...
They say some men just shit their brains out.
Well, that didn't happen, I think. Anyway, what's the status of our arms and our boat?
You've
Ship.
got cannons. You don't have any cannon shot, though.
We don't?
No. You don't.
So, to be clear, when did we run out of cannon shot? Didn't we rightfully salvage this boat from a bunch of people who were shooting us with their cannons?
Sorry, yes. No. I was thinking you got the cannons from the fucking shipwreck. No, yes.
No.
I completely forgot about that.
I was confused there as
So
well.
we didn't steal this boat, we acquired it in rightful self-defense.
Yes. That is what you did. For some reason my mind was thinking you went to the old shipwreck that was on that island and got the cannons there, but no, yes. That's exactly it. The other things that you could potentially do is let me just give you guys a couple of things. You can go to a major inlet and find word of pirates patrolling the waters, or you can patrol the waters yourself and see if you can find anything. But the ocean is a large place. The other thing that you could potentially do is you could go to that shipwreck on that island and see if you can recruit more people. But yeah, that's pretty much what you'd need to do in order to find pirates.
Well, right now we've got the one ship, correct?
Yes, you do. You have the one ship, the fish and chicks.
And the fisherman's going out doing fisherman things. So, at the moment, I don't think going to the island. Sorry. At the moment, lads, I don't think going to the island and salvaging the ship be our best course. We have no idea whether any of those lads be shipwrights. We don't know what supplies we be needing. It doesn't seem like now's the time. I think we needed to either be finding ourselves some skilled men, shipwrights and repairmen and the like. Then we can go salvage the vessel and pick up some more crew from the island. Or we need to be, and maybe this is an and/or type situation, finding ourselves a nice score by taking out a pirate or two, making a name for ourselves, and then that might help with the recruitment of said skilled individuals.
Plus, you can always push into labor the people that you don't kill on those boats too. So
press gang be the term, GM. Press gang.
Thank you. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I would suggest we go to, what was that? Charini.
Yeah, that's about a week's sail from where you are. So
yeah,
it's
probably the closest
close.
port.
Yeah.
And we should see if we can find some word of pirates, or maybe steal another one of these boats if someone tries to.
Aye, lad. Sounds like a wonderful plan.
All right. With that in mind, let's get your crew combination. So Bubbles will go with you, but outside of that, you can bring which NPCs you'd like. As if you're interested in taking another ship, it might be worth bringing another NPC captain. Other than that, what was that?
Party select screen.
Party select screen. Yeah.
I'm dragging the lone wolf, or whatever, the hungry wolf.
Yep.
Onto that party for sure.
Okay.
The hungry wolf.
The hungry wolf. Yeah.
So, yeah, you have
Booker?
I
believe we will take Rapier's hungry wolf squad.
Okay. I mean, like, you don't really have a lot of people. Like, you're going to need to bring, like, here's the thing. If your intent is to take another ship, right, you're going to have to bring a full crew, and then that crew is going to be split. So
yeah, we're bringing a full component, and we will bring what's her face, Susie Seasheld, or whatever her name is. We're gonna bring her too. We'll leave Ricardo here manning the island, as he is so wants to do. He loves this island.
He likes farming too.
No,
it's a new hobby of his.
So the other thing is too, like,
he also loves farming and just making things from the island's natural resources that we can sell for profit.
Yes.
So he is going to be 100% against that. Yeah. So the thing about
I don't think you got Ricardo quite right there.
Oh,
I really think
Listen, he's our NPC. I think we know what he wants to do more than you.
All right, if that's the case. So
the island sinks and you have no more home.
So yeah, he will be very he won't be happy basically with that. If you basically make him stay there, he's not going to be super happy.
I thought he liked staying there.
Does he want to come?
Yeah, I mean he's much like anyone else. He wants to explore and not be stuck in the same spot the entire time. He has a heart set on adventure. But that's up to you guys whether you bring.
Well, sure. Then Ricardo can come along. We'll leave a couple of people who got to come on the last adventure. We'll swap people out. So nobody has to stay on the island too long and go crazy. Even though the island has guaranteed food and all the material pleasures you could possibly dream of.
Some people like adventure.
Can I stay on the island?
I mean, some people do.
Some people do. Yeah.
Sailing the seas is a man's romance.
All right. Anything else? That's what you're gonna bring? All right, cool. So, the Fish and Chicks has a total of 6 cannons, has a crew of 20 slots. So you can bring 20 people with you.
Mm. Is this possible to do, Henley?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be possible to, while we're just on the island, are we just assuming that these guys are trained on how to use cannons?
Well, I mean, you have a ship. There's a gun crew and a ship crew, and the gun crew totals 5.
Okay, so we do have a group of people trained with the cannons.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, because it's an island that can just make things, so we could have them,
Practicing.
practice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if that doesn't matter, because we're just assuming that that crew knows how to use cannons, then that's fine. We'll just take those guys.
Okay. Cool. All right then. With that in mind, you guys set off, and you're heading over to Chani, yeah? In Perezia.
Yeah,
That seems to be the closest.
All right then. So this is gonna take a week's worth of travel to get there, but we need a single sailing roll here to make this happen. So a single sailing risk. This risk is going to be very minimal, and we'll see. Let me just roll real quickly. On a chart that you guys don't see. 40. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So as you guys are moving along the water, this is going to be an opportunity that you guys can take advantage of. So the risk here is taking longer than a week to get to Chani, right? Like that's basically what this risk is going to be. So the sailing, you'll need 1 to get to Chani within a week, and you'll need 2 raises to get to take advantage of this opportunity. But part of the way, like, there's going to be like some reefs in between you guys and Chani, right? Like I'm gonna put that on the actual map here in a minute. But these reefs are sort of like almost like a somewhat natural barrier, and a lot of shipways don't go through this through the reef, right? Because of the fact that it's dangerous for a lot of ships to do that. However, as you guys are navigating your way through it with Booker's help, you do see 2 ships skittled up on the actual reef itself, and the hole is cracked open, but they're basically stuck on actual shallow reefs, basically. They're not taking on water, but the ship is damaged to the point where it would be very hard to repair it out of the ocean. So the opportunity here is to basically take an opportunity to loot what you want from this place. So let's get that sailing roll then. Mr. James, I assume that's you.
I assume so.
Yeah.
By
So,
the way,
I think you've got the best sailing of all of
I was
us.
gonna say, by the way, the hero points are able to be.
Yeah, I could view them again, but they're
Yeah.
different.
oh really? They're different now?
It's a square rather than like a circle.
Maybe the page broke and they took a long time to fix it or something. All right, cool. Well, that's good. So, how many you got here? You got 1, 2. Oh, you got 2.
I got 3.
3. Yeah, 3. Oh my god, are you fucking serious right now?
With 1 remaining, which is a 4.
Mm-hmm. I have no interest in purchasing that from you.
Okay.
So with 3, that pretty much covers everything. So I assume you want to take a look at this this reef.
Yeah.
All right then.
Well.
Let me just draw this real quickly in so that all right. Excuse my math. Now, did anyone have a really cool name for these reefs, by the way?
The Reefs of Despair.
Awesome name. I like it.
Okay. I was going to say Shark Tooth Reef.
Either's fine. Let's see. Let's put text.
See, I was going to go with the Midas Reef because it's a reef near Perezia who has a large gold mining industry, and they avoid it because it sinks their ships and drops gold onto the reefs. But hey, sure, let's go with stereotypical nonsense. Sure.
What was your one, James, that you rolled? That you just said?
Shark Tooth Reef.
That sounds like you're a guy, Eugene, who doesn't enjoy the cliffs of insanity. Reefs of Despair.
The Dungeons of Doom.
Dungeons of Doom. The Shallow Coast of Craziness.
The Castles of Cataclysm.
I mean, some things are just classic. You have to accept it.
Yes, you do. All right. So let's show everyone my sweet artwork real quick. And now I will cut this out. And I will show the entire reef for everyone. So you guys can get an idea where the reefs are. Oh, god damn it. Are you fucking serious? Shit. I didn't mean to do that. I drew a fucking line. I hate that shit. No! Fuck. Okay. God damn it. Fuck. I'm roll 20, man. The worst. Oh, I'm still on the map side. Okay, that makes more sense. Fucking bullshit, dude. Ah, whatever. I drew a really good reef, and then I deleted it because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god. This is annoying me. How do I get rid of, like, particular lines, Arthur? Tell me that.
You can click on them with the arrow.
Yeah, I get that. It's just polygon the shit. I don't know, man. I fucking hate Roll20 sometimes. It annoys the shit out of me. It annoys the shit out of me. Alright. Let me do this. Are you
muted,
again.
Arthur?
Yes, I am. If you delete a polygon, anything connected to it will also be deleted.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that much. Alright. Reese. Done, done, done. Okay. Okay. Please stop moving. There we go. Man. Doing this all the time. I don't know how GMs do it all the time, to be honest with you. It annoys the shit out of me. Can't imagine too many GMs enjoy it.
What's that? What, using Roll20 to draw shit?
Yep.
That's why I generally don't use Roll20 to draw shit.
Yep. Okay, there you go. Reefs, all that. Cool. So this is where you guys are. So there's a shipwreck basically on the reef that you're at right now, essentially. And there's two ships. They're both of the smaller variety, which is kind of surprising because you guys are pretty nimble and able to get through a lot of this stuff with your ship size as it is right now. However, they do have somewhat rotting sails, so they might have been here a while.
And there's two ships.
There's two ships, yes. Fairly close
How many
to each
crew?
other.
Not that I can count. Is there more than 6?
You would have to actually go up there and investigate. But from what you can tell at this distance, there doesn't appear to be any crew.
What see you, Mr. Stone?
No, I'm just doing that.
Right. Is there a reason we'd be slowing down?
I've got a telescope. I'll have a look over.
Yeah, there doesn't, like, as I described, it's two ships with rotting sails, and there doesn't appear to be any crew. The ships are broken on the reefs.
There's two small ships at starboard, and it looks like they've hit the reef, and it looks like there's no crew on there.
Aye, lad. Bjorn, you have that creepy eye thing, yeah? Where you can see like a million miles away and read the inscription.
Oh, I've got good eyesight.
Oh, was that you, lad? Sorry, I can't keep it straight.
Hang on.
Feels
Hang
like
on,
it's been
My eyes. Creepy.
You want me to read? You want me to read something? Yeah.
Well, I want you to see if there's anything of value on the ships, lad.
It's gonna be in the. It's gonna be in the hold.
Do you
It's not gonna
see
be outside,
cannons
is it?
Mr. Stone, did you not tell me last episode that you were unable to read?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
That's why I don't ask him to read Rapier. I just ask him to see if there's anything, cannon shaped. Like cannons.
Well,
He was just begging to
Stone,
read. That
do you
was
think
concerning.
you could just get us over there without wrecking into the reef?
Yes, with great ease.
Why don't we just
Make
do
it
that?
so, Mr. Stone. Okay, he's
like
driving it like it's a Buick. Nice.
Yes.
All right, so what's the... you guys want to head over there and investigate?
We
Yes,
have done
please.
so.
All right, so driving closer, you guys, moor the ship.
Who's that? Who's that confused the driving? You see.
I see. Yeah. I wasn't watching your camera, so you're gonna have to excuse me. You guys head over
It's your
there,
loss.
and it's going to what? Okay.
I said that's your loss. You missed it all.
All right, so you guys head over there and you investigate. We're gonna do a single risk, and you guys can help each other out with this. Who's gonna go over and investigate the ship? It is, as you'd imagine, not a stable thing, so there are probably going to be some hazards involved in doing so.
I'll go.
All right then.
Right here.
All right, so we've got not Ricardo. We've got Rapier and we've got Bjorn helping each other out.
Whoops.
I don't know what it is with like a particular season and like lights at night, but bugs are annoying as fuck. Okay, so yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah. So the single risk
accidental.
is going to be basically that this ship is falling apart. The hull is broken open, and this is including both ships, by the way. So you want to make sure that you can get in there without losing footing or anything along those lines. So we're going to do an investigation or something along those lines. What is the approach that you guys are taking?
I'm thinking about it. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Can you think of anything? Rapier?
Rapier's approach is the same thing he has to all objects, which is to attempt to board them immediately.
Okay.
I attempt to board the storm.
Exactly.
So
So I feel like the approach is literally a boarding action, right? We don't know what we're going to find on the ship.
No.
It might not be totally stable, so rather than pull the two ships next to each other, he'll probably try to like swing over and secure the area just in case there's any traps or ghosts or hidden assassins or...
Okay, sure. So you're gonna board with... You're gonna be going over there dexterously. And Prylor, what about you?
Well, I mean, I guess that would pretty much be the same thing.
Okay, so we'll get one roll between the both of you, and both of you can use the same risk pool, I guess. So the way that I'm gonna just take a look here. The way that you can help is you can offer a hero point to another person. They can get additional dice out of that situation. Or I think they get one dice. I'm not entirely familiar with the helping part of this.
You didn't want to slap me on my ass on my way swinging over? Give me a help die.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he wants you to because you two are the ones that are going out to help.
That.
So, but yeah, if you guys are just going to do one roll, if one of you wants to sacrifice a hero point, you can provide aid or moral support to the other person, and they will get 3 bonus die from that hero point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another way that you can sort of help out. With
I'll do that.
So.
Okay.
For sure.
So I'm making a athletics roll with my finesse at
Sure.
3 bonus die.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I have that thing where my lowest die becomes a 10.
Yeah, so we've always decided it's going to be and it's not the lowest one, it's the last one?
Last one? Okay.
Yeah, last one, yeah. All right, ooh, wow, that's a lot of ones. That's a lot of ones. Holy crap. So the 2 is a 10, just so you know. So that's the bonus.
9 and 1,
yeah.
7, 2, 1, 1 and 9.
No, the 2 is a 10.
6,
so yeah.
Oh,
oh no, you got the extra.
Yeah, no, I got plenty of spare 2s. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I see. Yep.
It looks like I have at least 4.
3.
With like 3 ones left over.
I'm counting. So use 7, 2, and a 1. Use a 9 and a 1, a 9 and a 1, the 4 and the 6. It looks like you got a 2 left over.
Yep. And the re-roll became a 10, right? So.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
So you have a. Oh, I guess you used all the dice then.
That's 5, I think.
Oh yeah, 5. So.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 with 1 dice left over. So between the two of you, you can spend 5 raises, right? So the first one is for you two to get over there and start exploring, right? That's not a problem. You guys do that, no problems. So with 4 left over, there are a couple of places that you guys can search. You know, the first being each place has a captain's quarters, right? So if you want to separate and each do a ship, you can search the captain quarters of both of the ships with 1 raise. You can search the whole of both ships with another raise, and I guess the cabin crew quarters or wherever they might be would be another raise as well. So between the 4 raises that you have left over, you can choose 3 places. And you know, if you both go to 1, if you choose to go to 1, you both go to 1 on both ships. If that makes sense. So.
I mean, with what you described, we can do everything, right?
Yeah, but I haven't put any. I haven't put the risks out yet. So if you let's say you go to the captain's quarters and there's like a trap there or something like that, right? So
the basic concept is you're using a raise to go explore a place, and then when you explore that place, he'll lay out more things that you could do.
Yeah, like for example, there might be a lockbox or something like that that has a trap on it or something like that, and you'd need to spend raises to get through that. But as long as you're inside of the dexterous explanation for how you do things, it's not going to cost you additional raises. So.
And what happens if we went out of raises? Do we go back to our ship, or does something bad happen?
No, yeah, go back to your ship. Like,
okay,
yeah.
Right.
So there's no risk in you guys, unless the ships are like sinking quickly and you need to get off the ship, right? There's no real like, you know.
Which it's not. It's on a reef.
It's on a reef, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless the reef gets up and starts swimming away or something like that.
That would be something different.
Reef, not actually a reef. Reef,
Yeah.
actually a giant turtle.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Björn, it seems that we find ourselves on these ships once again. I think it would be wise to check the holds first for treasure. If I was treasure, that's where I would be.
I agree with that. If they
So
left
let us
this ship
spend
alone.
our second of 5 points on going into holds.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you both go into the holds. And both ships, for the most part, have been cleaned of, like, you know, the important stuff. So we're talking, like, cannons and all that shit have been taken off. But essentially, the way that this will work is you're both men of the ocean, to a degree. You have an idea of where, like, in a hurry, things might have been left behind. And it certainly seems like things were, like, you know, without care for the actual hold, taken out, right? Like, we're talking, there's netting left behind, there's, like, you know, barrels and stuff like that left behind with rotting food in it. So things of priority were taken, but there are definitely going to be potentially things in here if you look deeper. As you guys do that, you know, you go down to the so basically it's double hold, right? So, like, you go from the cabin crew down to the bottom. The hold itself, most of it is above water, but then there's stuff in the back that isn't. And on one of the ships, you guys can decide which one. There is a actual, you know, submerged, I guess, chest. However, it is submerged in water, and you will need to be able to spend a raise in or, you know, describe how you would get to the bottom of this submerged part of the ship and pull out this potentially very heavy chest to bring it back to the surface. Either one of you can decide which one is going to have that opportunity.
Mr. Bjorn, how do you feel about this here chest that is partially submerged?
I feel like we should grab it.
So,
Right.
yeah, so either one of you... so the way it was described is both of you on different ships, right?
Yeah.
So...
Mr. Bjorn!
yeah, no, I get that.
Do you also have a submerged chest on your boat?
But yeah, which boat is it on, and how does that person attempt to retrieve it? Keep in mind your approach is being dexterous, so...
Mr. Bjorn, is there a chest on your boat, or is it on my boat? I haven't observed the hold yet.
I don't see a chest at all.
Very well. It looks like it's in my hold.
You know what, fuck it. It's one big boat. Fuck you two. You're on the same boat now. Fuck you.
Mr. Bjorn, I think reality rewrote itself. You appear to be right next to me.
The boats have appeared to merge together, Mr. Bjorn.
This is a crazy.
The boat's saying
wave.
something. It's saying something. Can you hear it? It's saying resistance is futile. Prepare to be assimilated.
I'm very scared of this boat now that it's talking to us. I'll take this chest back to our boat.
All right. So you want to? How does Rapier dive down? Like, how do you do it with dexterous, with a finesse? You tell me,
My good friend, I'll tell you how.
please.
It is not a feat of pure brawn, because that would be foolishness for a weeble feek fool like this man. Instead, he is going to take a rope from the yardarm up top of the ship and then swim down using his elegant butterfly stroke, tie it to the chest, and then haul it up on the yardarm and then swing it over to our boat and have the chest board our boat.
Nice. I like it. Very, very good. Using finesse, you do just that. It's very heavy, like it scrapes along the bottom of the hole, and both you and Bjorn need to work together to put it up onto the main deck of the now broken ship and swing it over. It's mostly made out of like it's an iron it's an iron cast chest, right? So it's very, very heavy, but you're not sure if it's the chest itself or its contents. So with one thing secured, you guys have 3 razors left, right? So where would you like to go next?
Mr. Bjorn.
Want to check out the captain's quarters?
Yes, that is where I would go if I was a chest of something else that was not already in the hold.
All right. So you guys make your way to the to the captain's quarters, and for the most part, it is as it is before. But this place seems to be a lot more like it wasn't the priority when it came to retrieving stuff as the ship went down. Obviously, because there's papers here, there's finery and stuff like that. But a lot of it is rotten through with the salt water having been left here for as long as it has. So with that in mind, there is a very heavy safe in this room as well, like behind the ship, the captain's bed, and it will require some sort of lock picking to get at. You could spend the time trying to bring it over to your ship, but without it would take a lot of work, essentially.
Lads, did you find anything interesting in the captain's chambers?
There's a safe over here.
A safe? What be in it?
We don't know yet. We don't have lockpicking skills unless Bjorn does. Actually, he's
Well,
like a crafting
luckily,
guy.
we have a lad with us who I believe is a master thief
I forgot about that.
who demanded a life of adventure on the high seas.
Who is the name of
Ricardo,
this
my boy?
skilled rapscallion? Ricardo, is that also the name of the man who is a matador-style duelist like myself?
Aye, lad, aye.
He must be an
Definitely him.
intensely handsome man and also thoroughly convincing and charismatic.
Oh, yes, all true.
Let us bring him
know
over
him
to
as
this boat.
Ricardo Wolfbane.
All right.
Wolfbane? Really? That's his name? Wolfbane?
Mendes, actually.
I don't know that I could be on a boat with a man with the name Wolfbane.
Worry not, he ran away from the wolves. He climbed a tree and jumped. It was very impressive.
All right. So, having said that, you can spend 2 razors to bring Ricardo over, since it's outside of your approach, and have him, accost the lock.
Sure.
Before we do this, I would like to clarify: should we spend 2 raises and bring Ricardo over to pop open the lock? Will we still be able to claim the stuff that is in the safe after he opens the safe?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I just don't want to be like, okay, well, you opened the safe, but you're out of raises, so get off the heaven ship.
I mean, you guys have 1 raise. Ooh. Oh no, you don't. No, you're right. Yeah. So, he goes over there. He's just like, almost looks like women to me. I like to listen to them and make sure that they are treated correctly, and then they open up, as you would imagine. So he does like the stereotypical thing where he like puts both hands on the safe and he listens, and he starts like clicking the tumbler in there, and it opens up. However, there is not much in here outside of a logbook, and Ricardo works for an advertising company in the 1950s. Well, he's very stereotypical, Perez.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
You might be interested to know that. Also, I don't think we ever went over this. Was your character religious in any way, Arthur?
Nope, he's an atheist.
What about does he believe how much does he believe in like fate and all that sort of shit? Or like is he
Not at
very
all.
what's the word I'm looking for, where you believe like
Superstitious.
superstitious? Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Yes, he is. He
Yep.
believes in wizards.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's interesting.
Mostly because he's seen wizards.
Ricardo, on the other hand, believes in the... he follows the god of coins, the pauper, which is to say that, there's two sides to everything. And acting one way has the exact opposite as well. So one side is the rich and one side is the thief, the pauper, and he believes in the pauper. So, that's his motivations, at least anyway. So having said that, it opens up and it's just mostly like a logbook in him. So nothing of real tangible value, as it were. But that's what that D100 roll was for. But yeah, what do you guys do? Do you take it with you?
Absolutely. And then we go back on our ship, because with only one raise, there's no point to getting ourselves in danger down in the crew hold.
Yeah.
There will be nothing of value in there.
All right, so with that in mind, you guys get back on the ship and you head over to Charney, I guess, yeah?
Yep. Continue.
Did we see what was in this chest they so, carefully swung over to our ship?
It's a bomb. Boom.
Yeah, you guys are all dead.
You're
now.
all dead. Reroll.
Oh man, I did it again.
It's like the Ark of the Covenant. You open that.
There's nothing in this chest except for logbooks. It's really weird that we would have two of them. It's almost like this was two ships.
It would probably be along the lines that the thing that you guys pulled up would probably be... yeah, probably some sort of like treasure or something like that. Some sort of pull from another ship. Or maybe I imagine it's more a case of like fineries more than anything. And the actual, but the chest itself is actually like for the most part waterproof as well. And the stuff inside of it is completely fine. So we're talking like spices and probably more silks more than anything. So good sales value, not so much worth for treasure and stuff like that. So you can sell this off and make hold or make treasure if you want. So you guys are in Charney. Charney is a very bustling city, much more alive than the port that you stayed at, which I believe was called Candlelight Pier. Is where you were in the Emerald Isles. Charney, on the other hand, is very open and bustling. It's a multicultural port, so a lot of people come here to do a lot of trade, and a lot of merchant ships are coming and going from this place. However, as mentioned before, a lot of the locals here, they like to... the merchants tend to lie a lot. So that's what you know. That's what at least Pen and P mentioned previously. Other than that, you guys are sort of fresh face to this place.
All right, lads. Well, we need to be selling this treasure unless anybody wants to be dressing in silks.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you guys can sell this off pretty easily. Like, especially in this place, like, it's not very hard to find someone who wants to purchase actual goods, right? Like, we're talking like unwoven silks. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like actual merchant goods.
So, let's be selling the goods. Then, Ricardo, this be your homeland. Where might we go to find news of pirates or other lucrative ventures?
So it really depends on what you want. So, like, if you're looking for, joining pirates, that's one thing. But if you're looking to find a pirate to kill, well, there are plenty of rumors of people making their own wealth on the ocean. Any place that deals in information is likely to deal with those sorts as well.
Well, in Prius, we'd go to the bar and exchange pleasantries. but I don't know how it is for your land. It's quite shinier than what I'm used to.
You would probably find that there would be a man who would deal with actual information in a place such as this. And he would be far more reliable than a drunken.
And where might this man be?
He's like, in case you aren't aware, I've been with you for the past months. So finding a place like that, you would have to ask the locals. Or perhaps, he turns to Ricardo, is like, maybe we should go visit the guild. That might be a place to start.
Ricardo turns to Ricardo.
Sorry, Rapier. Sorry.
Is there a duelist guild here then?
Absolutely, friends. You are of the same school as I, no?
That is true, and I'm learning a new school. But allow me to say this. First, I wish to go to the kind of bars where you might pick up pirate stories and learn information, and then go undercover there and spread tales of my legends. I'm getting tired of people talking shit about me all the time.
All right, so
I need to do some counter-insurgency public relations here. Okay, it's very important to me.
All right, so let's make this a dramatic sequence and like the whole Charney sequence. That way everyone can participate and do something. This is a port town. You guys can trade information. You can find goods. You can find people of worth. You can find information brokers. You can basically do anything that your heart's desire in a place like this. What does everyone want to like? Let's get an approach from everyone.
I want to try to find a good shipwright. That's what I would like to do.
So what would you like to roll though? Like,
so I am going to try to talk to the locals, find someone who's a good shipwright, talk them up, talk about the island, really kind of schmooze them. I do now have a whole chest full of goods as well as some loot back home.
Are you going to convince people to join your crew?
I'm going to try to convince a shipwright to join our crew.
Okay. All right. So let's get a roll from you then. This is definitely going to be panache and convince, most likely. This is the first time rolling it, so extra dice, reroll, all that stuff. Now, with 4 panache, what can you actually do with that? I can't remember.
4 panache doesn't matter. That's just the trait, so I don't think it matters for the trait.
Oh, it doesn't unless you have like an advantage with it. Like Arthur, I know you have like a finesse thing, right?
I have legendary trait. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I also have legendary trait. Maybe there is something about the traits. I don't know. Give me a second.
When rolling a panache skill, set 1 dice aside. It always considered a 10. Okay.
Well, that's for legendary trait, yeah.
But you are rolling panache, so
Yeah. So yeah. But let me see if there's anything about having a level 4 trait. Because I think it's at level 5 that you get the exploding dice.
No, that's skills. So you're thinking of skills. So.
Okay.
I'm trying to find that page as well. Like, for some reason, they don't put it in the same...
Yeah, because why would they put it under traits?
Okay, so 3 ranks, you gain the ability to reroll single dice. At 4 ranks, you get the ability to earn 2 raises per set of creating a set of 15.
Okay.
That's skills, though.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about skills. So, with your panache, the last dice you roll on... panache will be a 10.
Okay. So there's no benefit to having 4 panache other than the extra dice.
If you have the legendary trait, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I will roll convince. Boop.
Okay, so that 5 is a 10.
Mm-hmm. And that one of those ones is my reroll for a 6.
Okay.
So the 110 from the 5 is 1, 9 and 1 is 2, 8 and 3 is 3, 8 or Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
6 and 4, and then you have an 8
6
left
and
over.
yeah, and 8 and 8 left over.
So I'm counting 4 raises then.
Yeah, should be.
Okay. All right, AP. What's your approach for this dramatic sequence?
I mean, my approach is twofold. I would like to start by going to a bar and outrageously lying to everyone about the nature of the Hungry Wolf and the Fish and Chicks, about how we're just the most deluxe cutthroat pirate killers in existence. And then I'd like to go to the deluxe cutthroats. Yeah.
That sounds
we're not just regular cutthroats, we're deluxe.
That sounds like a fucking order at a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
So with that in mind,
we're called the Fish and Chicks, Dave. You made us this way.
So my suggestion would be to roll whatever you're good at as like your approach, right? Like
Panache convince.
You want to do panache convince, and you want to like your approach is convince people to raise your own reputation.
Both the Hungry Wolf and the Fish and Chicks together as being, premium deluxe pirate killers.
Now, did you want to do?
And definitely not whatever they were saying about me back in Candlelight Port or whatever it was called.
So raise the reputation of himself and his crew.
Yes, with me as the priority, of course. If I have to choose between your two, it's
now,
all
what
about
did
me.
you end up calling the crew? Because this is whatever you describe your crew being called at this point in this juncture will be definite.
The Fish and Chicks, right?
Well, no, I mean, but you'll eventually have multiple ships, right? So what
the Sons of Eric.
Sons of Eric. Okay.
Unless someone here wants to give me a better name, real quick.
Well, that's what we've been going with.
All right. So let's
We're gonna be a cult. We might as well go cult the whole way.
So this will be panache convince. This is the first time rolling it, so you get the extra dice and you get the reroll. So, all right, what do we got here? That 2 becomes a 4, I guess. So, oh, you got some rough rolls here. I think you've maybe got like 2. 8 and 3 is 1. And then
5, 3, 2 is
5, 3, 4. Actually, it'd be 5, 4, 3.
5. Well, 5, 3, 3, and then a 4 left over, so that's 2.
Yeah. Wow, that's rough. Okay. Pradlo. What's your approach going to be for this dramatic sequence? You're muted, by the way.
Thank you. Well.
So what is everyone's stories? Let's get an
that's
idea.
What I was gonna say. Like the only thing I can think, I don't know how I would weave I don't know. I guess my story was partially on the way here was when I got shipwrecked and sent to the island with all these lovely gentlemen, but I was here to look for metal of like rarer metals that no one's have ever used before.
What is your
that aren't common?
Okay, what is your what stage are you in with your private story?
I'm at 3 of 4, and I've been that way for the last 2 sessions.
Okay, and what is the actual story that you're trying to accomplish here?
Acquiring smithing knowledge, and then I will get what is it called? Specialist.
Why don't we go with then, if that's the case, let me pull up your sheet here and see what you actually have. Why don't we go with there's no investigate in this game, which is weird. Why don't we go with scholarship?
Notice you'd use over investigate, I'd say.
Yeah, why don't we go with scholarship something? Since you want to learn about the smithing in this area, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we go with scholarship? Maybe I would say brawn is fine with that. I'm okay with brawn being that. Now you don't have any skills in scholarship, right? So
no.
You are attempting to learn from these guys, so realistically. The other thing you could potentially do is maybe I guess convince a smith to teach you, but you're not very good at that either. So however you want to go about it, it's up to you.
I'll do the scholarship brawn. That just when I'm unskilled, what does that actually mean?
Nothing. You just get less die, really.
All right. Do I? What's with the or do I get the extra with the first roll? Is that how it works?
What do you mean?
Right. It's my first roll.
Yeah, you get an extra die because this is the first. You get an extra die. Yep.
And that's it, right?
That's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll be rolling bronze scholarship with 1 extra die.
Hey, that's not bad. You got more than 8p. Yeah. Oh, actually, no.
No, I got 2.
You got 2.
I got the same.
Huh.
Yeah. If that 2 was a 3, that'd be better. But...
All right. So I got your wishes to learn precision smithing, and James Stone. What would you like to do for this?
Hang on, I'm just sneezing my tits off at the moment. Just
I've noticed. Yeah.
I don't really have anything to like contribute on this sort of side of things.
Well, everyone's doing personal stuff, except So if you wanted, what is your story right now?
My story is to do something. To find the island from where we teleported from and find the wreckage of the beach ship, which is to get me onto force sailing.
Now that sounds like you're trying to find someone to repair ships. Maybe try and find a smith, boatsmith.
Shipwright.
Shipwright, yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, if you want to come with me, that's what I'm doing.
Sure, I'll go with.
And I am your friend and everything. I even admitted it.
Yep. Even though
you admitted it.
Me.
Mm-hmm. So.
In front of people.
That sounds like that might be either. I would accept a sailing role here to find someone appropriate, like that might know their stuff a little more.
Okay.
Or maybe an empathy check or something like that. It's up to you. In terms of traits, if it's to do with,
I'll do empathy because I've not done empathy before, and it's and it won't. It will be exactly the same dice. So
be wits. It'd be wits empathy, I think.
Okay, that's not a good combination, but sure.
Yeah, I mean the other one.
I get an extra dice because it's my first attempt at it.
It is, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, here we go. Proof is in the pudding. Okay. 8 plus 2. Oh, 2. I get 2 there.
What? No, you get a lot more than 2.
Hang on, why did I not roll an extra dice?
It did. It said bonus dice right there.
Oh, right, okay.
So you get 3.
How do I get 3?
8 and 2 is 10.
Yeah. That's 1.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, wait. I mean, I'll take it.
I'll have 3 if you want to give me 3.
No matter how you count it.
Fine. You get 2. Good day, sir. Jesus. All right, so we've got everyone's approaches now. So, Ricardo is going to go off and do his own thing. Bubbles is going to follow AP around. And yeah, who wishes? So the first person to go first is Eugene. You got 4 raises. So what would you like to do, sir?
I'm gonna ask the locals on the dock, about shipwrights, good ones.
Mm-hmm. It's also worth pointing out that none of you guys wanted to find information about pirates or nothing. So, yeah.
Well, I assumed that somebody would do it.
Yeah.
And everybody was like,
I mean, AP's is kind of within the realm.
Whoa.
Kind of.
Did you just me? That is this. This is a very important task to undertake.
Yeah. He's raising the ship's profile as pirate slayers. So maybe someone will be like, I heard you're good at slaying pirates. There's a crew.
I heard you're good at slaying pirates. Yeah, have you got information about pirates? No, I don't. Bye.
Sails between the shark reef tooth thing and the big scary pirates.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't know.
So you want to try and approached people at the dock, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, it's a working dock. People unloading their ships, unloading cargo, loading their cargo. There's a couple of people like doing manifest checking. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I mean, probably someone with a fancy hat.
Oh, look, there's several.
Wonderful. I also have a fancy hat.
Mm-hmm. Like a tricorn, you mean?
Yeah. Well, it's a fancy pirate hat. Given to me by a fancy pirate. So, no, I'm assuming looking at the ships, I can tell that some of them are, nicer looking than others. I don't know much about ships, so I can't be like, yes, that's a tri-masted galleon with superb mahogany wood and gilded ruffles. I don't know shit about ships.
Is there a mahogany ship?
That's an M1911A, the greatest handgun ever known to man. You can see the chrome slide's been reinforced.
I don't know what it's called. I just know the noise it makes when it kills someone. Are you trying to figure out if mahogany can be made into boats?
Yeah, I am, actually.
It is a heavy wood. It cannot be made into boats.
Maybe a little boat. I don't know.
Like maybe some inlays and shit, but you're not gonna make a boat out of fucking mahogany.
Look, man, I have my dreams. Anyway, talk to me.
You know what? I'm gonna say that Perezia is the home of the one and only mahogany boat.
Yeah, they made it into a bar.
Yeah, it's a bar called the Mahogany Boat.
Yeah.
And because it's fucking Parisian, it is an actual boat that they designed on land out of mahogany. Because fuck this place.
Yeah, it's the only boat that can't be stolen on the water because it's never been on the water.
Also because it's made out of mahogany and would sink almost immediately.
You don't know
or
that.
not. I don't know. I don't know if mahogany floats. Who's ever put it in water? It's mahogany. Anyway, I go up to one of those gentlemen who's probably in conversation, not looking like he's actively unloading a boat, because that'd be rude. He's got a job to do.
Yeah. And what do you ask of him?
Lad, I'm looking for a shipwright for my crew. Need able hands and a quick brain. Where might I find one? I'm new to these shores.
So the man is, going over a manifest, and he's sort of looking at the papers, and he doesn't really look up at all, and he's just like, "Oh, you're looking for a man to repair a ship, eh?"
You got the sum of it.
So he keeps going through over the papers, and he's like, "Well, I can only tell you one place that you might be able to find people, and that would be the Mahogany Ship. Local bar, tavern, and place of recruitment."
It's that big one over there, quite abstentious and such, yeah?
But let me tell you something about that place, boy. And he puts the papers down, and he sort of leans in close, and he's like, "The people there, they can't be trusted."
In what sense?
You never been to Perezia, boy?
No, I've met one man from Perezia, and he was a good lad. Bit to the fast fingers.
Aye, that's the entire country. The entire country has a bit of fast fingers. They're always looking to swindle you out of something. But you didn't hear that from me. They're good merchants because they know how to make a deal.
Well, Eric, son of Eric, that's me. I come from a long line of good, trustworthy, and trusting folk. I'm sure it'll be just fine. I'll trust the better nature of the folks here in Perezia. It seems like a lovely place.
Am I with you?
You are, yes.
I'll just stand there. He's a farmer.
Aye, lad, I was. Now I'm a captain. It's a strange world we be living in.
He likes to sow seeds far and wide.
Also true, lad, but who doesn't?
So, because that use of raise wasn't risky, and the game defines, you need to do something risky to make things happen. You get the information about the bar, about the place of recruitment, and it's over yonder. Heading over there, you run into, you walk through a small market. And it is what you'd imagine it would be. The place is filled with smells and different colors, and maybe even like, because Brezia is a rich land, right? And I'm not entirely sure how much either you or Stone have come into contact with niceties before. But it's definitely like a lot more.
What's a nicety?
Is this Stone asking, or is this James as Stone asking?
This is Stone asking.
So
imagine
like at this point in your life, imagine clothing in colors that you've never seen before and things like that, right? Like we're talking like
I want to get emotional. Stone's getting emotional, like he's wearing those glasses that you see, for those YouTube videos.
Aye, son. Son, it's not time to be crying. We got a job to do.
This is the first time I've seen color.
Yeah, I come from the Green Isles. Even though it says green in the name, it's very grey.
Emerald.
Aye, lad. I'll tell you what, Stone. You'll be doing such a good job at steering the ship. How about you pick one of them scarves or headbands of some color or some such? It makes you happy, lad.
Oh, pink.
Bright purple do-rag, yeah.
Wonderful, lad. It looks fetching on you.
Does it really look manly?
You're actually...
Lad, as far as I can tell.
You're actually very, like, you say that, Eric, son of Eric, but you look at the price of that, and it's almost like the same price as what it would cost for you to supply your entire farm with seeds for half a year. Like, this is a sort of place that's just like
Stone, lad.
The idea of wealth here is considerably different from where you're from. And
be putting that back, Stone. We'll get some of the silk from the ship. We'll be making you one.
But I wanted that one. You said I could have one.
I know, lad. I'll make you one when we get back to the island.
But
do you see how much that one costs, lad? It's more than 6.
Oh, is
it? Way more than 6.
Oh, is it?
Oh yes, lad. It's quite more than 6. It's 6 and then another 6. Aye, lad. Yes. That'd be the appropriate response.
So I can't have it then?
Well, I mean, you could, but you'd probably have to sell your arm or something.
Bubbles.
No, lad. Bubbles already be down a limb or two.
What is a Parisian gonna do with a severed limb anyway?
What is a Parisian not going to do with a severed limb? Merchant, you'd be asking some weird questions.
So what are you saying, that this stuff costs an arm and a leg, yeah?
That's yeah.
Aye. So Bubbles probably has some wonderful scarves. We should be checking with him at some point.
Walking with a rapier, Bubbles is like, I feel like someone is talking about me.
Mr. Bubbles, all anyone would have to say to you is excellent things.
Oh, lad.
Even though we've only talked twice and your voice sounds very different than it did the last time we spoke, you've always been a stalwart companion who has guided the ship correctly.
Rapier, be giving Bubbles a break. He's been through quite a trauma.
I play 300 characters a week, and I forget which ones are what sometimes. All right. So you make your way over. The tavern itself is made out of a dark wood, mahogany-like almost in nature. and you head inside, and it's very, very boisterous in here. Like, you could have sworn that there'd be people swinging from the chandeliers if they had chandeliers here. You know, it's that.
Swing it from the chandelier.
Yeah, exactly. And
You're saying it doesn't have chandeliers?
no, it doesn't. But you walk in, and your mind's eye fills in what should be there, but it's not there. So let's why don't we take a quick break before we get too deep into this, because we are at our midway time. Many thanks to our Patreon supporters for this week's episode. Head on over to patreon.com/handling to support the growth of Die Party. Just walked in.
Have you ever wondered why the ocean was salty?
Yeah. So you just walked into the bar, the mahogany ship, and it's very boisterous in here. But this definitely seems like a place where you might be able to find. These are definitely people on what do they call it? Shore leave, right? Or people that like to, deal with other people who are on shore leave, if that makes any sense.
Is Rapier here?
I'd like to be here, but even if I'm not, I will eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because this is exactly where you'd go to bullshit about yourself.
Okay.
I thought with the talk of bubbles, you guys met up.
Oh,
it
no,
did sound as if
I was just bullshitting. Bubbles was doing the whole, I think somebody's talking about me, because sniffling. But
it's up to you guys.
Right. So, I'm assuming there's like a bartender of some sort.
Oh yeah, there's a couple actually.
All right. Stone lad, do you be wanting a drink?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. The bartender's over there.
Okay.
I'm going to be grabbing us a table, lad. Besides, you know how I can't drink. It'd be hurting my soul to go up there, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the place is filled to the brim, so finding a table will be pretty hard. You might have to share a table, but yeah.
That's fine. That's actually the plan. I'm gonna look for somebody who, looks like they work with their hands, but probably not, a sea dog.
All right.
Particularly.
Okay, that's interesting. So if you want to do that, it's going to cost you 2 raises to find an appropriate person to converse with, if that's what you're after.
Oh, because I would have to notice.
It's outside of your approach. Yeah.
Yeah, fluff it. I'm just gonna find a first table with people that look friendly and start to chatting.
Okay, sure, yeah. A lot of the tables here are very open for more people coming in, and they offer you drink, and you can't partake even if you wanted to, but you get conversing. These people are on ship leave, shore leave, so they are 100%, already hired. But if you wanted to try and convince them, these are locals, right? These are Parisians, and there's a mixture basically of all sorts here. But essentially, you can convince some of them to spread the word that you're looking for people to hire, and we'll do it in groups of 5. Essentially, right? So for every raise you spend, you'll convince more people to join. So these are just be normal brutes, essentially, that you're recruiting. And brutes are, the crew members that you can spread between whatever. No one in particular skilled, but, men of the sea nonetheless.
All right. How many people can my ship hold currently?
Now, that's the question. How many people did you bring? Did you guys fill it up? Because if you filled it up, none.
I mean, we took a full component to man the ship for a week-long voyage.
So a full component on the ship itself is you need 10 crew.
Okay, and how many can the ship hold?
20.
Okay, then I will recruit. This is what I will do. I will spend 1 raise to recruit 5 men of the sea to the ship.
All right, so you want to bring 5. Okay.
Then, since I'm at 3 and still before these other lads, I will spend 1 raise to get the word out that the fish and chips, the sons of Eric, are looking for a talented shipwright to sign on for glory and treasure.
Interesting. So you spend the final... How many raises did you spend on this?
So I spent 1 raise to get 5 dudes.
Yep, got that.
And then I spent... You know what? I'll spend 1 raise to get the word out that our crew is looking for a talented shipwright.
Okay. And so I assume you do this by plying people with alcohol and being a good...
yeah, telling stories and, singing sangs, which actually is going to be outside of my thing, because this is going to be very clearly perform, not convince. So I will spend the 2 raises to do so, putting me at 1 raise.
All right, then. That's fine. So when you go down to that, it's now another person's scene here. So you're at 1. So AP, Prylar, and James, you're all at 2 raises. Who would like to go next?
I'll let the other 2 go ahead before, because it's been pretty much focused on me and Eric, Eric and myself.
Go with AP.
I would like to swagger into a bar and begin loudly talking about how amazing Rapier.
Now, let me get an idea of like the type of audience that you want, because that'll define where you're going in terms of bars. So
I want to go to the kind of place everybody else is going for information.
For information. So you're looking specifically for like maybe a guild place or something like that.
Could be,
because like there are like a lot of the like duelists and stuff like that. They work off mercenary work. Right?
Not specifically duelists. I'm mostly looking for other crews, other sailing crews.
Other sailing crews in particular.
Would you not want to go to the
ship? Because that would be the mahogany ship, right? Like
I would go to the mahogany ship.
Okay.
Sounds perfect.
All right then, sure. So raise the reputation of himself and the Sons of Eric, right? So this is going to, I guess, essentially help the. So right now we've got 2 raises. Like this is how we'll do it, right? You've put 1 total raise towards finding a shipwright, and the way that Eric did it was outside of his approach, which is why it costs 2 raises. But there's 1 total raise in that pool. The higher you guys make that pool, the more like the bigger the better the shipwright that will, approach you guys about it, right? That's essentially how we'll do it. That makes the most sense. So, do you want to add to that pool, or do you want to just increase like the general awareness of your crew?
The general awareness of the crew.
General awareness? Okay. And how do you go about that?
Rapier swings into the bar and takes a seat in one of the most crowded sections of the bar and loudly introduces himself as, "Hi, mates, welcome. My name's Steve Gary. I'm on the transport ship Bucephalus. Did you guys see and look at that ship?
Wait,
the
did you
fishing
say
ships?
Bucephalus?
Bucephalus. It's a horse.
You mean like the STD?
No, that's syphilis, not Bucephalus.
Why would a person name a ship Syphilis?
The captain is an idiot.
Oh, like 6 people go, at the same time. It's like, my captain's stupid too.
Let me tell you about a good captain. His name is Eric, son of Eric. is a fine man who leads a fine ship. We saw him out at sea helping sailors that were on a reef get rescued. And then we saw him again days later fighting pirates. Aye, that ship has a great and legendary crew. I can't believe I'd never heard of them before, but if I seen one of them, I would buy them a drink.
I like the idea. It's like, Eric, son of Eric, is over there talking about an Eric, son of Eric, and you're over here talking about an Eric, son of Eric, and yeah. Oh, look, there's Eric, son of Eric over there. You said you'd buy him a drink.
I immediately send a drink to his table.
A pitcher of ale slides in front of you, Eric, son of Eric.
Hey, you shouldn't have. Thank you, lads. For the table.
Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, join us for a drink, Eric, son of Eric. Come on now."
Aye.
I'm gonna point behind everyone. And go, whoa, what's that?
I'm just gonna splash it on my face.
I'm gonna point out behind everyone so they all look round and see what I'm pointing at.
Are you going to spend 2 raises to do this since it's outside of your?
Yes.
All right, you spend 2 raises, James, to distract the table as Eric, son of Eric.
I'm switching my empty mug with his mug.
Okay. That's it. Yes. All right. I'll accept that. So the reason, I don't know, Arthur, are you aware of his curse as a player?
I think I am now.
I think I am now.
So, AP, just so you know,
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I am aware. It's just I'm not sure if Rapier was ever told.
Yeah. So, you see him, like, you see Stone distract the table and swap the cups. Maybe a little weird to you that he throws away your generosity like that, but, it still helps towards your, what'd you say your name was? Steve something?
Steve Gary of the
Steve
Bucephalus.
Of the syphilis, right? Yeah, okay.
Bucephalus.
Sorry, what did I say? Syphilis?
Yeah.
Why would anyone name a ship syphilis? That's weird.
Look, I think you have STDs on the brain.
That's how syphilis works.
Yeah, it's a disease. Yeah. So you raise the reputation of the crew by singing its praises. Not literally, but that's what you do. So that's one.
I just saved you, Eric, from having to drink a mouthful of ash.
Mm.
I don't know. I think it would have been a cool parlor trick. Be like, I'm the badass captain. Look at me.
Yeah, except sailors happen to be very superstitious,
Yeah.
so sailing under a cursed captain, not something you really want to be throwing around.
All right, so Prylor,
You have a silver tongue. You could work it.
The camera spotlight shines on you, Bjorn, as you walk into, basically there's an artisan area of this of Chirani, and it's a huge area, right?
I imagine you hear the tinging of hammers on anvils.
Tinging of hammers on anvil. You hear the shouts of salespeople selling wares. You
roaring of furnaces.
Furnaces. You hear the pulling of carts and the neighing of horses as they bring goods to and fro. This place is I don't know. Maybe you can give me an idea of what it was like as a Thrinian blacksmith. I don't know if you were a part of a big conglomeration of blacksmiths or anything like that, or whether you were just working a meager fire by yourself.
I kind of imagined it as I had my own kind of shop that we ran. That was also our house as well.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't have any competition in the place you're at, or
I'm sure there was competition, but I've made armors, like I said, for pretty much the whole, not me myself, the whole army, but I've made thousands of breastplates and axes and stuff like that. So they would contract to me, but I'm not wasn't owned by an artisan guild or the Theridian, government or anything like that.
Not that you can recall all that stuff right now, but it's good to get an idea of like, what it was like
where
for
I
you.
was.
Yeah, so you wander around. Is there anything that particularly catches your eye about like maybe a particular smith or a style or something like that?
I'm interested in learning how they would make rapiers here, because this has got to be one of the places that specializes in that, considering they are very into the duelist, and that's one of the duelist's weapon of choice. So I would imagine they make the best, and perhaps they have some even, if I can possibly get an element like a steel that is rarer or newer.
You know what I actually think it might be, like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I imagine this steel that you work with, it's like hard, right? And your forging that you're used to is to make things harder, right? Now I imagine a lot of Parisian smithing is more like towards the artisan style of stuff, and especially with the duelist blades, it's less about it's more like they work with a softer metal, and the blade itself is like a bit more bendable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like it has a bit
they
more...
also put more like grooves in it to make it lighter and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and I also imagine that a lot of the smithing work here is folding in additional metals to like make metals of different properties and stuff like that. And maybe it's more like less about like actual like hard brute work of a smithing, and more about like intelligent alchemy and mixing things in and stuff like that, right? So your eyes get caught basically on this smithery that for the most part is it's very different from what you would imagine. It's very eloquent, it's very well dressed, the shop is sort of well maintained, and it's not as dirty as you would imagine a lot of the smitheries to be that you're from. I mean, there are dirty places in this area, and there's a lot of like sweat coming from a lot of
a forge in general.
But this place is very clean. It's very maintained. Walking in, because most of the shops here are just sort of open to allow for cool air to come and go, but this place is sort of like closed up, like it's an actual shop. You walk in, and there is the unmistakable silhouette of a Parisian duelist. It's not Ricardo, it's someone else. He's got a thick cloak on his back, and he's carrying 2 rapiers on his belt, and he's basically arguing with the proprietor about specifically about one of the blades that broke in battle, and they're arguing over whose fault it was that the actual blade broke. This place is basically filled with completed swords and armor and stuff like that, and a lot of it is very ornate in nature. We're talking like gold inlays, and there's a lot of there's like hilts of like sabers and stuff like that have pressed gems in them and stuff like that. It's almost like fashionable.
Yeah, a little bit
armor.
Too much.
Yeah. So, what do you do when you've come into this place?
I guess I would start up a conversation with the owner and ask him. What would I ask him? I guess. Let's see. It's hard to know exactly what the smithing lingo would be, but I just want to
I mean, that's kind of like the hand waving that we can do, right? Like if you wanted to just like give me an idea of like the how you would approach him and what you would actually ask of him, then we can go from there.
I'd probably go up and ask I don't know, artisan to artisan, and just talk about the trade in general and blacksmithing, and I know this trick about this, and see if he would open up to be giving me more intel on maybe he has a.
Okay, so unfortunately that would be outside of your approach, right? That's definitely outside of your approach, 100%. So because your approach is wishes to learn about Parisian smithing, and you're trying to schmooze this man into making it more approachable about
Okay,
that.
so maybe I don't know. Either way, it's like.
Well, you could, for example,
maybe I could go up and because I know of smithing and its scholarship or whatever, I could be grabbed or kind of interject myself and be like, perhaps I could take a look at that sword and figure out why it's broken or why it broke.
The two men basically stop arguing for a second, and they both look you up and down. And the duelist turns to you and says, "I would recognize a face like that anywhere. Thrinian, yes?
That is correct.
Now, how did you make it out of the blockade?
I was actually on my way here when I got swept up in some storm, and it's a long story, but I've been out of Thrin for quite some months now."
And you say that you can fix a Parisian rapier,
I didn't say I could fix it. I could possibly find out why it broke.
All right. So he stands aside, and you can see, on the actual table itself, on maybe a piece of silk or some shit, is a blade. Now it's a rapier. It's broken right at the hilt. The actual blade itself has snapped off, and it's almost it kind of seems from your point of view that the metal itself somehow became extremely brittle, as in it lost its elastic properties almost and snapped.
Would this be in the fault of craftsmanship or use?
Well, from what you can see is it must have come under some incredibly hot, maybe something in the environment created a heat and tempered it, or something like that. But if it was a sword bought from a place that sells weapons and stuff like that, they would test the weapons for how brittle they are before they sell them. So unless a mistake was made here, something had altered the sword's properties after purchase. So that's what you would gain from something like this.
Well, what is your name, good sir?
Who are you asking? The duelist? Mikello, I guess. We'll just call him that.
Mikello. I'm Bjorn. How did this, what were you doing with this sword before it broke?
Well, I was using it in battle. As most swords do.
Well, did you have your sword with you the whole time? Because it looks like someone may have tampered with your sword before the duel.
It's like, well, what gives you that idea? And why would another man touch another man's sword? That is not very sportsmanship-like.
Well, was the person you were dueling very honorable?
Oh, I would hope so. He accepted the terms of a duel.
It doesn't mean someone's honorable.
So what are you trying to say, friend? Are you saying that he somehow managed to get my sword unbeknownst to me and, swap it with something that wasn't as nearly as good?
I'm not saying he swapped it. I'm saying he possibly, with the right temperature changes, you can turn a really strong metal into something quite brittle.
The blacksmith behind the table will sort of raise an eyebrow at you and be like, interesting observation.
But yeah, I think that's what my take is on it. If you'd want my expertise, I think someone messed with your sword.
He sort of like chuckles. He's like, "Well, the only thing that could possibly do something like that would have to be some sort of foreign magic that I'm not aware of." And unless you're telling me that you've seen such things on your travels, well, I'm inherent to believe that is something that you are making up, good sir.
Well, honestly, I've seen a lot stranger things in my travels.
So the blacksmith behind the table will turn to the duelist and say, "I'm willing to give you a replacement sword if you like, but I can't return or refund your purchase. After all, it left this shop in good condition. What you do with your swords outside is nothing to do with me." And the rapier will, sorry, not the rapier. The duelist will pick up his sword off the table and say, "I'll think about it, but let's just say that I'm not very happy with your service as it is right now, and I'll be spreading the word of such deeds that this shop is not as what it used to be." And he turns and strides out in a huff, letting his cape twirl, as it were, to make an elaborate exit. The blacksmith will turn to you and say, "What does a Thrinian want with a Parisian smith, huh?"
Well, what any good smith wants from any other smith is knowledge.
Cheese.
Not cheese.
So you're telling me you've come to my shop in order to take my secrets?
Not take your secrets. Perhaps share.
Mm-hmm. And what do you have in
Exchange.
exchange?
Well, I mean, okay, out of character. Do I actually remember anything from crafting? Because all of my stuff was Thrinian. So if you're going to take everything Thrinian away from me, I kind of don't have anything.
You
so
took that away from yourself, mostly.
Okay. That was up to interpretation.
So the smithing that you can remember, it's like, you know how to work a smith, you know how to work metal and all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to like crafting, the stuff that Thrinian is known for, that is, lost to the ether.
God, I'm going to give up drinking next time. Kill myself.
I don't seem so dumb now, do I, bitch?
Should have given up food.
Yeah, right?
I give up life.
Well, I thought you were going to go crazy after a while. Apparently that didn't happen. I mean, you are a leader of a cult, but...
Okay, so, you know what? No, y'all don't get to know the ending of Eric, Son of Eric yet. That's... Yeah, I totally haven't gone crazy.
He falls into a giant... He dies in a brewery by falling into a wine casket and just drowning.
I would just open my mouth and turn it to ash. I'd be fine.
We already talked about this with the jumping in the ocean.
I could kill the world by jumping into the ocean.
Anyways, yeah, I know a few trade secrets, and perhaps we could share a few.
Well, it seems like you know a couple of things. I tell you what, why don't I put you to work? If you want to learn, you can pay me in hours worked the smith.
Teach me how to make a fine rapier.
I can teach you how to work metal like a Parisian.
All right.
Whether you make a rapier is up to how many years you wish to put into things. We don't make axes here. We make weapons of finesse. The steel needs to be representative of the strengths of the user, and a lot of Parisians prefer lightweight weapons so that they can do other things and move around quickly and swiftly.
I've noticed that we've been traveling with one. He really likes the lighter weapons. I'm not used to that, as you can imagine. Like you said, crafting axes, big claymores, and bulky items.
Yeah. So, with how many raises do you want to spend on learning this sorts of things? Because, if you spend one, that's fine. You'll have one left over, but you won't be able to, like, do anything with that anymore. Because you could spend 2 raises and that'll be everything. But you won't be able to go outside of learning smithing anyway, so.
I just want to learn smithing.
Okay. All right, then. So you can spend,
both raises to...
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we can say that,
learn good.
Basically the, results of everything happening. We've still got a couple of raises left that we need to go through, both you, June, and AP. But, I'm going to say that you spend like half a week here, and trying to find like a smith, trying to learn smithing and trying to learn trying to find a shipwright, right? Because, rumors take a while to spread. So with that in mind, you, June, AP, how do you spend your last 2 raises that you've got?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I was actually kind of hoping to save my last raise for if a shipwright came to us to convince him to join the crew.
Well, I think as a result of you guys actually like spending all these raises, I'm not gonna like make you spend another raise to recruit him. I think what you're doing is you're adding to a pool to like, bring a dude in of a certainable quality. So
well, then I will use my last raise. Seeing good old Rapier, who is now under a surname, telling tales of the awesomeness of Eric, son of Eric, and the sons of Eric. I'm going to lay into those rumors as well. I'm going to convince people, tell stories of the time where we found the fastest ship on the seas, and
the Millennium Falcon
for a lark,
That was an aluminum Falcon.
Escaped a man of war into a whirlwind storm of death, and our man Rapier, I'm sorry, what's your nickname again?
The Hungry Wolf.
Rapier, the Hungry Wolf, dove from the ship to save wayward members of the crew. I'll get into it.
He defeated a storm.
He rode the storm out. Yeah.
He boarded the storm.
Tell of the prowess of Stone, strong and confident behind the wheel, able to punch a man's head off in a different system. Don't ask him to do it now. It's
nearly impossible. Yeah.
But in a different time, in a different way, he definitely punched a dude's head straight off his shoulders. Just to further raise the reputation of the crew.
Sure, absolutely. So we'll put 2 points into the shipwright pool. AP, you're the last one with a raise.
I definitely want to go around as Steve Gary from the Bucephalus, telling stories about the awesome might of the greatest swordsmaster who has ever lived, a man who has dueled 100 foes and never lost once, the
Ricardo?
Hungry Wolf.
The Hungry Wolf.
Ricardo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's more of a master thief. He doesn't really duel people, but yeah. Yeah, so I like the idea that, near the end of your time, like, spreading rumor and such, maybe there's, like, a man who's been sitting in the corner listening to you talk for the last couple of days about, like, these stories of this man of immense legend and myth. And he eventually, like, after you've told your, like, I don't know, 17th story on some bullshit story that, Rapier has done, he sort of like pulls back his hood and he stands up and he walks over to you and he's like, Now where can I find this man?
They say that the man, Rapier, can be found on board the Fish and Chicks.
What a terrible name for a ship. I will find this man and I will challenge him to a duel.
That sounds wise.
If there's one thing that I am very confident of, sir, is that these myths and tales that get told in these bars, they're nothing but fabrication, and I will prove to you that that is the fact.
Are you calling me a liar, sir?
No.
Are you saying that I have made up these tales about the Hungry Wolf?
I request that you be there, so that you can witness the downfall of this man that you keep talking of so much.
I will be there.
Good. Then let us go now. Come with me and bring all these people, and let us show them that this man you speak of is nothing more than a tale.
Excellent.
You just like, yes.
I want to do the dramatic reveal on the docks in front of the Fish and Chicks.
All right, yeah. So you bring like, a crew, like basically just like a swath of people. Like you've been basically like edging these motherfuckers for like days now about this guy, this Rapier fella, about his stories and all this sort of stuff. And you bring him to the dock and you stand in front of the Fish and Chicks, and the man like he's basically wearing like a tricorn, but like not a tricorn, but like a, what do they call the Spanish Inquisition hats where they have like the little thing up and they have a feather out of it. I don't know what they're called, but oh god, a conquistador hat. Oh, hang on.
Yes.
Did you say tricorn hat?
No, no. That's a different hat.
I'm just thinking of Star Trek. Someone walking around with a tricorn on their head.
But a tricorn is an actual hat. Yeah. So he's got like, yeah, it's like a not the Moran helmet, but like, I guess it kind of is. It kind of looks like that. He's got like, yeah, it's like a metal helmet with a feather, like a plume sticking out of it. And he puts his one foot up on the barrel and he screams over, he's like, Rapier, the Hungry Wolf, I hereby challenge you to a duel. Like he screams over at the, I don't know, are you standing next to him or something like that? Or relatively close? And I like the idea that a man like sticks his head up on the Fish and Chicks. He's like, he's standing right behind you.
So I whistle for one of the crew members to throw me my tricorn. And then I swoosh my cape and draw my sword dramatically and change my accent, since I was going for like a vaguely Australian thing before, and say, the truth is, I am the Hungry Wolf, and I have never been defeated in combat, for I have faced 10 men at once.
He like turns around and is like, I am shocked that you would tell stories of your own worth. That is not how stories work. And he pulls out his rapier and he's like, on the guard, you filthy animal.
Isn't that how nicknames work?
That is exactly how stories work. And it is you who is the filthy animal.
Oh, okay.
And
Rapier, if you're going to be bloodying up the dock in front of the ship, at least get the man's name first.
Aye, fellow duelist, what is thy name?
Sharpie McSharpie.
You had a very long time to think about your name, duelist. I mean, you were edging pretty hard here that we were going to fight.
You can call me Santiago.
Very well, Santiago. Instead, I will call you my latest defeated opponent.
Santiago Diego.
I'm rubber, you are glue.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Rapier, you need no help from the crew on this. Dueling be your fort, but it would do bad things for the crew morale to see you lose.
Of course, so that's why you should be handing me all of your hero points.
As your captain, I be giving you an order. Make that man look quite foolish for ever daring to raise a blade to you. And this is my way of providing moral support to Rapier in his fight by spending a hero point for his rolls.
Oh, there you go. So,
how do duels work?
That's what they're deciding right now. Now, Arthur, as a player, this is sort of the first time that a duel has happened. So, in this world, we can sort of define what happens when two duelists meet, and obviously, it's not to the death, right? That is pretty much like apparent. Like, no duelist ever fights to the death because their name would, they're not. They make a living off dueling people. They don't make a living off killing other duelists, right? So, what exactly is the definition of losing a duel, in your opinion? Is it the first person to yield, or is there like the first person to draw blood? Like, what is that?
I don't know. I feel like the two characters would probably have to come to a decision about that, right?
So this is like before a duel, they set the terms of the duel?
Yeah, set the terms.
Okay,
yeah.
Sure. So Santiago will look you up and down, and he will like swish his rapier, and he'll be like, "What be the terms of our duel then?"
First blood.
First blood.
The hungry wolf always strikes first.
Very well. So, with that in mind, what's going to happen here, Arthur, is the terms of the duel will be the first person to give a dramatic wound to another person will be the victor. Yeah?
Okay.
Which is to say that you need to go from, up to your dramatic wound points. So, with that in mind, let's roll your approach here. So you've got 3 additional dice here because you got the heroes points help. So what are you rolling? I guess finesse.
Finesse weaponry, probably. I mean,
Arthur,
yes.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't say to the pain.
To the pain? Yeah, you're right. You're right. But to the pain is pretty extreme, right? I would have to cut off everything but his ears.
Yes. My God, what is that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about. What is this?
Princess Bride.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never.
They're being real big nerds.
Okay. So,
bunch of nerds.
Finesse is level 4 for you, and you got your legendary trait. So the last dice on the finesse roller will be your 10. And this is the first time you're rolling weaponry this round, so you get the bonus dice and you get a reroll. So go ahead and roll that out for me, please.
All right, so let's see here.
I'm also going to spend one of my points to say that you need to make 15 to get to 1.
Interesting. I'm going to spend my hero point to give me another die.
Yep. So you want another die, so you'll be rolling +4 then instead of +3.
So I'm doing, and then I actually get another one on top of that for using a rapier.
Oh, is that like a duelist academy thing, or is that fencer? What is that?
Yeah, that's fencer.
That's fencer. Okay.
Yep.
So
that, then 4, and then another D10.
Just a D10. Yep. So you need to make 15s. Essentially.
So the 3 becomes an 8.
The 3 becomes an 8, and no, the 1 becomes an 8. Because this is all part of like a pool, right?
And then the other one becomes a 10, right?
Yeah, no, the 5 becomes a 10 in your finesse table. It's always the last one on the finesse table.
Okay, all right. So 8 and 7 makes a pair.
No, you need to go to 8 and 7.
Yeah, 8 and 7 makes a pair.
Mm-hmm.
7, 7, and 1.
Yep, that's 15. Yep.
6, 5, and 5.
Yep.
And then 8, 3, 2, 1.
8, 3, 11, 2. Yep. So that's 4. So you got 4?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Any left over on that?
No.
Really? You spent all the dice?
I think so.
That's not bad for needing the 15.
Yeah, no, you did good. All right.
I have a leftover too. Sorry, all the way at the bottom.
I don't know if this helps, Arthur.
Yeah.
But since you have 4 in weaponry, you can actually make 2.
He has a 3 in weaponry.
Oh, I thought he had 4 in weaponry.
No, I only have 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, never mind.
3 is the highest you can start with in a skill. So
yeah.
Never mind.
So you got 4. All right then. Let me just put this down here. All right, and your approach is dueling with finesse. Okay. All right. And then this guy is going to roll. All right. So he got, wow, that's really good rolls. 1 for 7 and 3, 2 for 10, 9 and 2 is 4, 3. Sorry. And then 6 and 3, no, 9 and 3 is another one. 9 and 6 is another one. And then, yeah, then it has an 8 left over, I think. Yeah. So he got 5 raises. Okay. So 5 of 5, and you get 4. All right, so he's going to go first. And how many, what's your hit points? You have 4, right? Before you go to a lethal?
Yeah.
So
5.
he is going to spend, he is going to lunge at you, and he is going to spend 5 of his raises to do damage to you.
Excellent. I riposte.
Okay. And what does that look like again?
That will block 3 of those points of damage and deal 3 back. So he hits me for 2, and I hit him for 3.
Okay. That is fine.
So he comes at me, and I'm just like, "Rah! Riposte!" I told you, the hungry wolf always strikes first.
Okay. And that cost a what? A raise?
That costs my raise.
Yeah. Okay. So that costs a raise. So you're down to 3, and he is at 0, but you take 2 damage as well, right?
Yeah. Well, now I'm just gonna beat the hell out of him. So
go for it.
You
You have 3 raises, so remember it's 1 raise to do 1 wound, essentially.
I mean, it's also 1 raise to do 1 maneuver.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm gonna do a slash maneuver and deal 3 more wounds.
Okay.
I just slash him right up beside. Just give him a nice scar on his face. Ha! A dramatic wound. It is I who is the victor here.
He's not that dramatic yet.
Ah! A facial scar from 6 points of damage. But it's not dramatic yet. But
So he's a level... So basically the way that NPC villains work is that their level is how many dice they roll. So if a level 5 dude goes up, it's going to be 5 HP before he goes to a dramatic wound. And if it's level 10, which he is because he rolls 10 dice, he gets 10 HP before he gets a dramatic wound.
3. So right, I think I got this. I can't do the same maneuver twice in a row.
No, you can't. Yeah. So you're at 2 left. So 2.
I will then feint, which deals 1 wound to him, and then if I hit him again, he takes another wound from the feint, and then slash again. So between all of those,
you have 2 AP, so you can't do 3 things. But yeah.
But I only need to do 2 things. I need to feint and slash.
And that'll give
the feint deals 1 damage, and if you damage someone again after feinting, they take another wound.
So that'll put him at 8 rather than.
And then I'll slash, which will deal another 3, and it'll trigger the feint damage.
So he did 3 on his repose, 3 on his slash, 2 for his feint, and then 3 more for his second slash.
Which is 11.
Dramatically wounded, my friend.
So I mean, hold up. Where's the feint thing? Sorry, because you're saying that you're going to slash after feinting, unless that's like another maneuver, right?
Slash, feint, slash. Yeah, is the combination I went with.
Right. Okay. So where is that again on the book?
Feint is on page 235.
Yeah. Apparently, duelists are OP. Holy crap!
Yeah, duelists are really good. Like, so feint, that's fine. I
would just lunge sideways so that he gets off balance, then I slash him in the face again.
Drops his guard to block an attack that never comes. When you perform a feint, you deal 1 wound. If your target is injured again this round, he suffers an additional wound. Okay, so he takes 1 wound for the feint. That puts you at 1 AP left, and then It's a base maneuver to use an attack, but one that even the most gifted street thug wishes he can master. When you perform a slash, deal number of wounds equal to your Wangstone weaponry, which is 3, and then he takes an additional wound on top of that, which puts him at 11. Yeah.
So at the end of the fight, I'm standing behind him, and he's bewildered that I've managed to move so quickly. And I go, Santiago, you were good, but I was only using 10% of my power. It's nothing personal, kid. As I sheathe my rapier, and then like blood spurts out of his facial wound.
So he gets like, are you saying he cuts across his face, sort of thing?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he sort of like goes like maybe he goes bright red in the cheeks, and that like sort of helps with the blood wound on his face, you know, like and he's sort of like you know, he's holding his rapier out, and it's sort of like shaking in rage, and he just sort of like. Rapier the hungry wolf, and he puts his sword back in his holster and is like, this won't be the last time that we find each other on the streets of anywhere that in the world that has streets.
Santiago Diego, you are the best opponent I've ever faced. I look forward to seeing you again when you've improved.
So he sort of like he laughs to himself and is like, I will take you down one day. Mark my words, it will be the thing that I do. I will hunt you like the wolf you are.
And then Rapier's like, hungry wolf, trying to get the crowd riled up for that instantaneous victory.
Like, you get that one dude that starts doing the slow clap. He's just like... like the Dwayne The Rock Johnson, like, chewing on something, like, slow clap. You know?
I'm gonna, like, elbow some of the crew. Hungry wolf.
Like,
hungry wolf.
Hungry wolf. You know, they sort of join in, then everyone joins in.
Come on, it was a really good victory, Dave. Give me something.
No,
here.
it was. But here's the thing. It was too quick.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
like,
it was so fast that nobody really knew what happened.
Exactly.
I told them the hungry wolf strikes first.
It's kind of like when you go to like a boxing match and the guy like knocks him out in 10 seconds, and then everyone's just like,
you should have boasted the crowd beforehand because.
Oh yeah, fast. My bad. I'm sorry. I was so busy winning the fight that I forgot to go WWE on it.
Well, you know.
Yeah. So I mean,
have you never seen Gladiator?
I have seen Gladiator.
Are you not?
Is this not why you were here?
So everyone was is excited that they saw a fight, but a lot of people don't understand what they saw. So
because they blinked, yeah.
Yeah, like one guy like dropped his purse on the ground, and then picked it up and stood up again, and then you guys were putting away your sword.
One guy was buying popcorn, and he turned around. Oh, it's already over. God damn it.
The people in the crowd that were making...
Spent all of my raises to secure this fight, Dave. Work with me just a little bit here.
And there were people in the crowd that were like, okay, taking bets. And then, like, you know, the fight's over and it's like, oh, shit.
Like, Rapier's going to take his hat off and walk over to them and be like, the only bet that was worth making is that the hungry wolf would win instantly.
There's like one guy in the corner going like, yes, yes. Because he's like the only person that got in a bet. Like, you know, because it was way too quick. But yeah, that's basically what happens. So you've...
Captain Eric, son of Eric. Yes, I could not have won that fight as quickly as I did without your moral support. It filled me with dice.
I'm glad my words could provide support, even though I'm not sure what dice you'd be referring to.
Don't worry about it. Your player will understand.
It must be a duelist thing.
It's a duelist thing, yes.
Name of the episode. It filled me with dice.
He keeps doing that. He keeps like breaking something. I don't know what it's called.
The fourth wall. Okay, cool.
We don't be having 4 walls on the ship. Random person on the port.
So Dave, I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Master Crafter, and it's supposed to let me craft things. So
what page is that on? Let me give you an idea.
I don't even know, to be completely honest. I just have it.
That's a advantage?
It's a
Take a look here. Is it 2 point? 3 point?
I just want it's not a point. It's just something I can do.
Is this the thing that you bought with this, or?
No, this is just something I have been able to do, is create stuff.
Okay, it's Masterpiece Crafter, right?
Masterpiece, yeah.
Okay, choose one type of item, weapon, armor, paintings, etc. When you create an item, you may increase the time you work on it in order to create an item of greater quality. If you're using typical mundane materials, it has no additional effect aside from cosmetic. The item is noticeably higher quality than similar items and may even bear your mark. Earn your notoriety for your fine work. Draw a higher piece if it's for sale. If you use exotic materials such as creating a sword using metal from a fallen star, for example, you can create a signature item for yourself or another hero. The time required to create a signature item and whether or not its material is special enough to qualify as a GM's discretion. So what do you want to know?
I want to know, how long does it take to craft an item?
It's relevant to how much time you want to put into it, really. Like you can pump out like swords, like you could probably make like 3 or 4 swords a day, sort of thing. So
I just want, could I possibly during this session have made a decent rapier, not even like super like fancy or whatever, just something I could possibly.
Well, considering that you were put to work in a smithery, you wouldn't be like making the guys weapons, right? You would be
I understand that.
Yeah. I would say that.
But like, I mean, I'd still have access to it if he wasn't working me 24/7.
So you want to say you spent some of your downtime using his stuff?
Yeah, if that's cool, and I could possibly make a decent.
Okay, how much money do you have?
I don't know.
Money is like it's basically a perk that you buy, an advantage.
All right.
So, like, for example, I think AP and Eric, you both have wealth, right?
All right, so then I don't have any wealth.
So basically, wealth, the way that it's decided is like you start with 3 points of wealth every session, and it just sort of resets at the start of every session. So it's basically just like spending money, essentially. So if you don't have any wealth, you basically just have enough to get by, right?
Yeah.
So I would like basically you don't have enough to buy the materials that you need. So what you could do is you could ask other players to purchase this stuff for you, and then you could start building things. And part of what you could do at the end of the session is have enough money to like buy supplies or whatever. But yeah, like ideally,
look, if you mentioned a rapier that you're going to be making a rapier, he'll just throw 3 bags of money at you.
Yeah, that would be more than enough.
I don't want that though. It's something that I really owe you.
No, yeah, but you're making it, and he will fund the making.
But as for Bjorn, it's kind of like
let me pause you. I was going to do this while we were on the ship, but we kind of jumped to the port anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As the 2 individuals who went to the ship and got the treasure chest, both you and Rapier would have had first dibs to the booty that was in there, and then the rest would have been split.
Right.
So you would have, coming to this port, had some portion of those merchant goods to sell before going.
Yeah. Was that not going to be a part of the wealth though, or like were we not going to get any wealth from that, or like sorry?
He didn't say that it was worth a wealth level. He said it was worth.
It's worth a whole, right? Like
So you would have a portion of booty, because we're going to use that wealth level to pay the crew. So you would have money on you. You would have been paid.
Yeah. I would say that would give you like, let me just check how much things are actually worth here. 164. Wealth points. A hero can afford the basic necessities live if they are available, ordinary food, blah, blah, blah. Wealth points allow you to buy extra things. A hero's ability to spend money and acquire things he wants is represented by his wealth. Unless you have a way to start play with wealth points, such as Patron's Advantage, your wealth points begins at 0 every session. Spending wealth. A hero can spend wealth points for any of the following effects. These are only guidelines and examples. When in a social risk, you can that could be influenced with money. You can spend your wealth. Every wealth points allows you to spend reroll 1 d10. Oh, there you go. You can spend wealth to reroll d10s. I did not know that. That's something new. 1 wealth points buys high quality common items like an excellent sword or a trustworthy horse. 3 wealth points hires 5 strength brutes for 1 scene. And 5 wealth points purchase something non-unique that isn't already available or illegal. 8 to 10 wealth points buys a business, a house, a ship, or some similar piece of property. I'm going to say that just the one hold is worth 3 wealth, essentially, right? Let's say that much. So this booty that you got, it's 1 hold, so it's worth 3 wealth.
Okay.
Which is, enough to spread out and purchase that. So basically, if you wanted to build something, you could very easily buy the materials necessary for you to make 2 swords with 1 wealth point. So if you had 1 wealth, you could afford enough materials to make an attempt twice.
I think I said that I was going to craft him 2 rapiers.
Okay, well, you can make 2 rapiers from 1 wealth, so.
But that's just 1 wealth? Will it be Mastercraft, since I have that?
It really depends on how much time you spend on it, man.
I'd spend as much as I can as we're in port.
Also keep in mind that you could just get the materials you require and work on it when we're back at the island with your master forge. You don't have to make it here.
Yeah.
You could trade your labor for knowledge and materials.
Could I buy the materials and a longbow and some arrows?
You wouldn't be able to buy both. If you had 1 wealth left over, you could buy the longbow yourself and just work with that.
No, I'll just grab the materials then.
Mm-hmm. All right, materials, you got them. So you have all that. So you have just write somewhere that you have materials enough for 2 Mastercraft items, basically. All right then. So at the end of this little shindig that you put on, this little display of power that you have over everything else, you notice there are a couple of lingering people. The first is there's a feminine form sitting on a bench, right, smoking a pipe with a hood brought over her head, and a man will actually walk up to you, Rapier, and he's sort of got a backpack on, and he's wearing I guess commoner clothes, right? He also doesn't look like he's bathed in a while. And he'll walk up to you and he's like, "So you must be the fancy rapier that I've heard so much about."
I wouldn't say fancy, but there are some who call me the Hungry Wolf.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I've heard tale that you're part of the Sons of Eric.
I am a contractor affiliated with that organization.
Oh, maybe you're not the person that I need to talk to then. You see, I'm looking for the Sons of Eric.
I can take you to them. What is your purpose with Eric, son of Eric?
I heard that they are looking for someone to, I guess repair one of their ships. I heard that it was lost at sea.
Are you a shipwright?
I've been known to put 2 pieces of wood together, yes.
Are you a master shipwright?
What, does anyone have any right to call themselves a master anything? I'm always learning, if that's what you're asking, yes.
I mean, if you put 10,000 hours in, people generally consider you an expert master at your craft, but I understand. Do you have some sort of proof of your identity that can show your skill before I show you to Eric, son of Eric, a very busy man?
He kind of looks from side to side a little bit, and he's like,
you did just show up in the middle of the street out of nowhere.
Listen, I understand you have some hesitation in letting me talk to your contractor, I thought you mentioned.
Yep, yeah.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
It's been happening a lot tonight.
He'll lean in close. It's like, perhaps we can do this somewhere outside of ears, because I'm not really well liked on this place, as it were.
Very well, random person. Let us step into the alleyway nearby so you can speak freely with me.
Okay, yeah. He'll follow you, and he'll put down his backpack, and he'll turn to you and say, "Listen, I have come with some unfortunate circumstances. You see, I do build ships, yes, and I do build them for people who use them for, non-appropriate means, let's just say. You have to find work where you can, right?
I'm waiting for the part where you prove your skill level.
How do you expect me to do that? You want me to build a ship in front of you?
No, but if you could take me to some sort of trustworthy person from what I can...
Well, what I'm trying to say is that my most recent customers are not the sort that you would trust. They're pirates. I make ship for pirates.
Can you name at least one ship that you have helped build?
Oh, yes, the Salty Barnacle. I built that from the ground up to be big enough to support a very large hold of treasure, and also make it so that it can be hidden.
Have I heard of this ship?
Give me... Oh, well, this isn't D&D. I can't ask for that. Yes, you've heard of the ship. I keep getting
caught
up.
Knowledge check, and
Give
I'm
me
like,
a
that's not on my
knowledge
sheet.
check. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've heard of the Salty Barnacle. If you can do that kind of work with our stuff, I'm sure you'll be hired.
Well, so what you've heard specifically of the Salty Barnacle
is that it fell apart mid-voyage.
No.
Everyone on board was lost.
No, you've heard about it like, attacking ships, right? Like it comes from a pirate captain known as Ewok the Rageful. And basically he attacks a lot of ships, like just a lot of ships. Like he's very he doesn't have any concern as to which types of ships that he attacks. However, he's also willing to let government entities board his ship in search of illegal goods, right? And he's never either he's taking his hold elsewhere and burying it, because they never find anything of substance on his ship, and they never find any evidence to prove that he has, taken ships or sunk ships or robbed people on the ocean, because he never leaves anyone alive anyway. So it's like he's gained the reputation of a pirate, but no one can prove that he is.
That's fine. Very well. I believe your credentials so far, although you'll have to prove them once more. To Eric, son of Eric, a discerning man who can see through lies. However, it would be inappropriate to bring you before the captain in such shoddy state. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to use one of my wealth points to take you shopping.
That is not necessary. I'd rather just leave.
Nope, we're going to do it.
Okay. I sort of just sits there and is like, I can give you my sizes and I can... But
quick shopping montage later. He comes out with some very nice looking clothing.
You walk...
And a bath.
So if you walk through the streets with him, he will... you will actually raise the ire of people around you.
I'll tell you what. We'll do this instead. I will give him my backup cloak so that he can put it over his head so people can't see his face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So you go through the town and you get him a bath. You get him some.
The clothing will include a face mask, by the way. Phantom of the Opera style.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. What type of training do you have as a duelist? Let me just get that out of you.
Assassin fencer.
Okay. Cool.
So most of it involves beating people to death as quickly as possible.
All right, then. Yeah, so, you dress him, clothe him, bathe him, and bring him to Eric, son of Eric.
Eric, son of Eric. This man's name is not important, but he makes ships like the Salty Barnacle, which I'm sure you've heard of.
I mean, you've heard of the man who drives it.
Yes. I'm sure you've heard of the man who drives the Sarti Barnacle, Ewok the Rageful.
Aye, lad. And this man, I'm sure, has the name. What's your name, man? Speak up.
Rapier turns and leaves at this point. He's done his job.
All right. The boatswain turns to you and he puts down his pack. And he says, "Oh, you can call me Nicholas."
Ah, Nicholas. Slap him on the back. Lovely to have you aboard. Rapier says you're a shipwright. One quite skilled. Made the Salty Barnacle. Or some such.
Yes, I've made plenty of ships in my time, but that's besides the point. Can you take me to wherever you need to go?
Why, lad, if you've got the skill, of course, you're free to sign up. It's an equal share of booty.
I've heard tale that you lost a boat on the ocean. If you on an island, sorry. If you take me to this island, and you bring enough men and enough supplies, I can fix this boat for you, and then you can drop me somewhere else. Yes.
So the deal you be saying is you want to fix one ship at the cost of dropping you somewhere else, some other port.
Aye.
If that be your wish, that'd be fine. But I would like if you'd consider staying on. My crew be growing, and we do have what we consider a nice base of operations. We could use a permanent shipwright.
So he sort of looks around and is like, "You'd be willing to give me a bed? Is that what you're saying?"
Of course, lad.
Well, it's really
Be bringing you onto the ship.
Which continent is this base of operations on? Because I've made plenty of enemies, friend.
Oh, lad. It'd be on an island. My island. Well, our island.
So
he's beautiful beachfront properties and everything.
Mm-hmm. He sort of looks around and he's like, smiles to himself and is like, "An island, you say? Hmm? And what about timber? What about all of this? An island doesn't seem to have a lot of those sorts of goods these days."
You don't need to be worrying about that, lad. It be a fairly sizable island with a good amount of trees. It also has some other resources we can talk about once we get to sea. But I'll be telling you the same thing I tell all the rest of my crew. You serve as long as you wish. At any time, should you wish to leave the crew, we'd be dropping you at a port of your choice.
All right. So he'll accept on the grounds that you'll take him away from this place.
You said there was somebody else at the dual grounds?
Yeah, like she's not there now.
Well, I mean, I would have gone and talked to her, but we were doing the scene with...
Okay, sure. Yeah, if you would have went...
I mean, Rapier went off into a hallway. Like, I would have just, like...
So, specifically, she's sitting on a bench smoking a pipe. And this whole scene of Rapier going on, like, her point of view will follow the man that is talking to Rapier, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then she'll see you coming, and she'll sit back in a natural state, and turn her attention to you.
Oi, miss, it's quite the duel, yeah?
And she just smokes a pipe, and it's just like, "Do you need something?"
Well, you be hanging out in front of my ship after the duel be done. I was just curious if you had business with me or my crew.
She looks around and is like, "I'm sorry, was me sitting on a bench offending you?"
No, lass. It's just the crew be working and I be bored. Just trying to be friendly. Is that not a thing that they do here in Peresia? I'm from Prius, you see. We're naturally inclined to the talking.
Yes, I could rightly believe so. She like turns her like pipe upside down and tips out the ash and like repacks it with you know, I guess tobacco, and she lights it once more. She's like, well, if you're going to talk my ear off, you might as well sit down.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. What you be smoking there? Let me guess. Tobacco from the southern country. Aged 36 months.
She just sort of like laughs under her breath, and she says, I'm not rightly aware of how long it's been sitting in someone's casket for, but it is from the southern country, yes.
Oh, I miss the days where I could smoke. You see, my wife told me, no more smoking for you until you go join and get those young lads knocked into shape. See, I started smoking since I was a young lad, and couldn't keep up with the youngsters anymore. You see, kind of rotund. It is a bit unfortunate, but I do have a tendency to overeat.
It's kind of hard to miss.
Right you are, lass. Right you are. So what be your name?
She sort of like halters a little bit, like when you ask her that, and she's like, well, you can just call me Sharon, I guess. Maybe. Yeah, that name works.
All right, Sharon. It's a good name. I knew a couple of Sharons. Yes, I did. I did know a couple of Sharons. It's a fine name.
So what do you need duelists for, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, to be quite honest, Rapier came to us under strange circumstance. And at the time, we needed someone who could fight. Though, at the time, I think he was on the other side.
Well, if you're in the habit of hiring duelists, what type of pay do you normally go for?
Well, lass, the standard agreement is equal share of the booty, food, place to lay your head, transport to whatever port you need to be going to, should you not wish to be part of the crew anymore.
So she's like listening. That's when Rapier and Nicholas leave the alleyway. And she'll stand up, brush herself off, and she's like, "Well, it was a lovely chat. And then she just turns and leaves. Following.
Have a nice day, lass.
Yeah, she does like a backwards hand wave, and she's still smoking the pipe and following walking in the direction that Rapier walked in.
And then enter smoking there.
Yeah,
Nicholas.
Yep, Nicholas, and all that stuff happens. All right, so with all that well and truly gone, there's a couple of wealth that you guys wanted to spend. I guess James, if you wanted to buy that purple sash thing, you can spend your one temporary wealth for the session on it.
No, I was told not to.
Okay, well, with that in mind, you guys make your way back, I guess, right?
I mean, we didn't get any information about anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Ricardo will come back mysteriously after a couple of days. And he will, he'll come back looking frustrated, essentially. And, he'll make his way back on the ship and, he'll take a seat and he'll do like crossing his legs and then crossing his arms and then like sort of like looking pensively at the floor, essentially.
Ricardo, what's be bothering you?
Well, I decided that I would go check out the Duelist Academy and see what I can see in terms of, making myself useful, finding out if there's anything worth taking on the ocean these days.
Well, I hope you had more luck than we did, lad.
Well, let's just say I ran into some old friends, and it didn't turn out well for me. This place, well, let's just say there's a reason I went to the ocean in the first place.
Does that mean you'll be staying with us?
Yes, I have no reason to leave. Why would you think so?
I don't know, lad. It is your homeland. I didn't know if you wanted to stay.
Oh, I mean, I am assuming the same reason that you don't go back to your homeland. You have reasons to not be there, as much as I do.
Yes, it is far away, and well, frankly, I haven't made enough money yet.
Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of duelist jobs going around right now for recovering stolen goods from, merchant vessels that leave the port that we're in right now. Charney. I had to look at it again because I don't remember the name of it.
It's all right, lad. None of us remember the names of anything.
So, there's plenty of work to be found out on the ocean around this port. Apparently, most ships get attacked just outside of the port itself. It's not a very safe place to be a merchant these days, but the trade here that is on offer is quite large. So, I've heard tale of merchant ships actually making deals with the pirates to get through. Seems that safe harbor is costing merchants quite a lot these days.
Well, lad, seems we should get our crew, gear, supply our ship, perhaps see what we can find outside the safe confines of the harbor. Whether we be finding a merchant vessel that be needing help or a pirate vessel that be needing plundering.
Also, I don't know if you have felt the same as I have, but the last couple of nights I've been dreaming of that witch we met on the island.
I don't rightly remember any dreams, but I haven't been sleeping well. If that's what you've been getting at.
No, these are like waking dreams. I wake up back on the island, and then I wake up back on the ship, and then I wake up back on the island. It's getting to me, Eric.
That sounds horrible, Ricardo.
It is what it is, and I assume that it's part of the curse, and it's good to hear that you're not falling into something like that.
No, lad, no, just the everyday hate of not being able to drink.
Well,
Rapier actually ordered me a pitcher and sent it to me in front of everybody. Stone's quick thinking actually saved the day. It was an awkward day.
I assumed as much. So where do we go now, Captain? What is our plan?
Well, I believe we're going to go, since you be telling me this port not be safe and that the merchants be getting hit by pirates, sailing around the port for a bit and looking for pirates trying to seize an easy prey might be a good bit of work for us.
Mm-hmm.
Might even want to look for a merchant vessel that's about to head out, offer our protection.
So what do you want to actually do?
I mean, we're in the port. Do I see what could... The fancy-hatted gentleman that sent me to the mahogany ship. Did that look like a merchant vessel?
Yeah, most of the ships here are actually merchant vessels, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I will send Ricardo, Bjorn, Rapier, who has now made himself famous among the docks for being
the Hungry Wolf
duelist, and myself to go try to find a merchant vessel that would be willing to hire us to escort them out of harbor.
Okay. Well, that wouldn't be too hard to find. And I would even say that as you're leaving the actual as you go up to the ship, the same ship that you found for the mahogany ship, he actually comes to you again. You were basically almost parked next to him, or parked, I say, but you were docked next to him. And part of the demonstration didn't go awry to the ships around you. In fact, a lot of them actually come to you requesting that you, if you're a not a merchant vessel, a mercenary vessel, that they will give you a portion of their sales if you follow them and get them past the, I guess, pirates infested waters that's around this town. Protection, yes.
Aye, we can be doing that.
So, basically you have a choice of a couple of ships here, but or you can take all three if you want.
We got 6 cannons. I think we'd be taking just the one ship.
Very well.
Why not take all of them, though?
Because you get a bad reputation when you take 3 and then more than one pirate ship shows up and you get sunk and die.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do what you can with what you got, Bjorn. We got one boarding party and 6 cannons. We be guarding one ship.
I think the Hungry Wolf can take on 2 ships.
We be guarding one ship.
Some
Bjorn.
say the Hungry Wolf can board several ships at the same time.
I mean,
some say the Hungry Wolf can board a storm, but some are wrong.
They were coming in the shop I was working, talking about the Hungry Wolf, man. It's crazy.
The Hungry Wolf Man? Is that someone else?
The Hungry Wolf Man. Man.
And he's hungry like a wolf. Man.
Yes. Anyways, one ship.
Yeah, so we will guard the ship that originally sent me to the Mahogany Tavern, the Mahogany ship, because he was nice enough to send me to the Mahogany ship and give me a word of warning about how they can't be trusted. Though I never ran into somebody who couldn't be trusted, so I mean his advice was wasted, but that's fine. He tried. He tried to be nice.
Okay, so you guys start escorting the ship out, right? And it's not long before the ships go outside. You're probably, I don't know, maybe an hour or two outside of Shani when you do spot sails on the horizon that look far less friendly than the types that you're used to. I don't know if skull and crossbones are actually a thing in this realm, but it is a black flag.
It's pirate colors.
Yeah,
well, it is now.
Mm-hmm. I would say who here would be caught up on who would be the person that would have the most knowledge about maybe Stone, I guess, might be the one to talk to here, but I don't know if you're well versed in other pirate captains of the ocean.
No, but our new shipwright might be.
That's a good point. But he's not a player character.
Then Stone.
All right, Stone.
Yeah, I would know a little bit, but not nearly as much as Stone would.
Yeah. All right.
What
so
do I know?
Yeah. So this is the this is the goldsmith ship because it's a black flag tempered with a gold X straight across the middle.
Oh, that's not good.
What's the matter, Mr. Stone?
We got a notorious pirate after us.
Well, I doubt he'd be after us, lad.
It's not a he. It's a she.
She probably not be after us, lad. She probably be after the merchant vessel we be guarding.
Her name is Sinkhole Sammy.
Sinkhole...
No.
Sinkhole Sammy?
Yeah,
No.
she puts holes in ships and it sinks.
Aye, it's a good name, lad. It's also canon now and can't be changed.
Oh, I can change it. Don't worry about that.
Boo.
All right, lads. Oh, do you know what kind of ship she is? She be, Mr. Stone.
Yeah, she can make the Kessu run in 12.5 parsecs.
Right, that don't mean making no sense to me, but...
Oh, shit, I don't know what 12 is.
I heard
Wait
it
a
was
second, did he
14
just-
parsecs.
He just counted above.
He counted above 6. He just heard the number. It's fine. He didn't count there.
All
It
right.
doesn't matter. Lads, prepare for battle. We say we be to protecting the ship. We be protecting the ship. Besides, I like the color of that flag.
All
I'd
right.
like me another ship. What say you, lads?
Yeah, so
Let's take it.
let's take a look real quickly at the ships. So this one is going to be a well-armed frigate, and it's so basically, you know, assume that they're gonna outgun you basically by a large margin.
But
So
they're slower than us?
no, it's very maneuverable, but and it has
In every
speed,
way.
so it can catch, and like it's a very light ship, and it's very
In every way, it's better than us.
every way it's better. Yes.
That's not
I
how
know.
ships work. There are advantages and disadvantages, and like...
Aye. This ship may have several advantages over us, but it lacks one thing that we have, and that
Aye.
is player characters and also the Hungry Wolf.
Hungry Wolf. Aye, lads. All right. Well, it be a frigate ship, and I don't know much about frigates, but I do know from what I can see, they got more cannons than we do, and they be gaining fast. So I can extrapolate that they be at least as fast as us.
So what you're probably going to extrapolate from this is that they probably don't have a lot of hold on their ships, so there might even be additional ships to like take prizes from, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So like what they make up for in speed, versatility, and guns, they lack in, you know,
Holding stuff.
holdings and crew. Like they probably like it's not a ship that can be. It's part of supposed to be part of like a bigger conglomerate of ships.
I got you.
So yeah, that's
It's
essentially
a
what-
battleship, not a transport ship, whereas ours is kind of a hybrid.
Yes, exactly. What do, friends? What do? Now, remember, this is a ship battle, so ship battles take place on page 254. We're going to be setting the approach, but there's a couple of different things that you can do. Fire the cannons, man the sails, the village crew, doctor's crew, and boarding party. These are all things that you guys can define right now. You have on your disposal within the ship right now, you have a total of 15 crew members, and you have a total of so you have Ricardo, Bubbles, and Susie, and as well as Nicholas as player characters that you can use in this instance. So what do?
Boarding party.
Right? How many crew members do you want to assign to your boarding party?
However many you guys want to give me.
So there's 15 total. Keep in mind that if you want the guns to fire, you are going to need to assign like a gun crew, basically.
Well, we've got 5 men on our gun crew.
So you
is
want
what
to,
you-
okay, yep. So you want to put 5 in the gun crew. All right. So, okay, ships. Okay, so 5.
How many people can that ship hold?
20.
We probably don't know.
Oh, their ship?
Yeah.
It's probably close to 15. Like in this game, like here's the thing: in the actual ships itself, right? This in the like an actual frigate in real life is probably more people, but in this game, most ships go from 0 to 10 people. A working ship, you can drive just about any ship in this game with 5 people, but that's for like half a day's worth of sailing. So a full complement on a ship is 10 people. If they have additional people, then that generally means that they have like a gun crew or something like that, right? So,
right. So, Mr. Rapier, you be taking 6 lads and Bjorn.
All right. So you're taking 6 for the boarding party.
I'll be going with you. Stone, you want to be coming with us to board, or you want to be staying here?
What do you want me to do? What would be my best?
Let's
Someone
go
needs to
crack
drive
some
the
heads
boat,
like the
though.
old days, Stone. The 4 of us be boarding.
So you've got 4 people left to put onto the actual crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Susie.
So do you want? I mean, you also have the village crew, which is like repair.
Yeah.
So do you want
the remainder is going to be split between sales and repair.
So 2 on each. Okay. That's
well, we don't need repair until we start taking damage. But
sure.
Yes. 2
so
and 2.
Remember, basically, the way you split your crew at this point is how many like dice that crew rolls. So if you put 6 people on the village crew, when repairs come in, they'll be rolling 6 dice to do things, right? So just remember that.
Yeah. So I'll put. Yeah. We're going to be boarding a vessel, so I'm prioritizing boarding the vessel and getting up there fast. So I'm putting 5 people on the guns, 6 people with rapier. By the way, guys, if you disagree with any of this or you think there's something better, feel free to speak up. I'm just throwing out what my suggestion would be.
I was going to say, just remember there's Ricardo as well.
Yeah, Ricardo is going to stay on the ship to, help repel boarders. And also I was probably going to have him run the firing crew of the cannons. Put Susie on the wheel to do, to steer the ship. And, is Bubbles going to come with us because he always goes with us wherever we go?
Maybe you can assign you guys are just gonna you can assign him to do something. So there's
I'll assign him to stay on the ship to help repel boarders if they try to come over to our ship. If he'll stay, but if he's gonna say no, I got to go with you, Captain. Fine, he can come with us, and I'll leave a brute so we have 1 brute squad. So if Bubbles is coming with us because he wants to come with us, then I will leave 1 additional brute so that we're taking 5 brutes with us, and 1 more brute will stay and be on the bilge.
Okay, so you want 1 on the bilge. How many you want on the sails?
So 2 on the sails, 3 on the bilge.
Okay. You've got too many then because you only got 15.
5 on the boarding party because Bubbles is going to come with us. 5 on the cannons, 2 on the sails, 3 on the bilge. That is 15.
And you're gonna not put any on the doctors?
The only doctor we have is me. So
I know, but you basically brutes can roll dice to save other brutes, right?
Oh, I don't know. What do you guys think? I've never done ship battle before. You 3 have. You want to give me some input here?
Well, did we do it?
I boarded.
Battle?
That's so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed on the helm. You see, I did the. I took hold of the ship.
Cool. Fluff it. We're going. We're.
I was gonna say the doctors is a new thing to me, so I don't know.
So basically, the doctors here. A hero could assist the ship's doctor if he has one, dealing with injured crew here. Wits and key saving for limbs and lives. So what that means is you can assign brutes to basically take injured crew and use razors to save them. The difference being that if you don't have a crew on the doctor side of things, when they're injured, they're dead, right? But if a doctor's crew, the doctors don't roll every round, they'll roll at the end of the round sort of thing. They'll roll last to see if they can save any injured brutes.
Okay, so I could stay behind on the doctor crew to try to save our brutes and have you three go ahead and board. So that would be you three, Bubbles, and 5 brutes boarding. Do you guys feel comfortable with that?
So as it is right now, we can redo this next session because I think we've run out of time this week, I guess. But yeah, you guys are gonna start in combat, but we'll hash out the details next week. But let's do some shout outs real quick. AP, let's start with you, my man.
AP Gaming Real, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube.
Nice. Eugene, my man.
Eugene. That's it. I wanted to be faster than AP, but you didn't move on. Now I just look foolish.
All right. Prylor. Are you going to say Prylor and then move on?
No, I'm gonna say I'm on Twitch. You can find me as Prylor, and Twitter Prylor_TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
And James Corp. You just got to say James Corp.
No. I'm going to say twitch.tv/James Corp. Find me there.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. In terms of stories that got completed, I guess Prylor, you're the only one that got yours completed. What is everyone else's?
Mine is to learn the dueling style of the Emerald Isles. I feel like fighting a bitch in duel might be a good step towards that.
Yep, I would agree with that.
I'm at 1 of 5.
Where was he from, though?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I learned it back.
You said Emerald
I
Isle.
learned it while I was back on the Emerald Isles, and now I'm putting it in a... Yes, I'm putting my new dueling style into practice.
So basically what's going to happen eventually is, like, at the end of this, he's going to, like, find a master from the Emerald Isles that can teach him things, right? That's what that means. Anyone else?
So, well, when we sold the ship, I completed the story I was working on to get me my 3-point rich thing. And I never actually figured out the next story for Eric, so
okay.
No. I'll have one by next week.
Okay, cool.
So will I.
James?
Maybe to find the island from where we teleported from and find the wreckage of the beached ships. I've already got one step in it.
No, you got another step because you've got a
shipwright,
yeah. So mark another step down on that. So.
Okay.
And Prylor, you actually got yours now. Which was what?
Specialist.
Specialist? Which does what?
Which, give me a second and I'll open, because I was just reading it. When you purchase this advantage, choose a skill that you have at least 3 ranks in. To become your specialist skill. When you make a risk using any other skill during an action or dramatic scene, you do not have to pay additional raises to improvise with your specialist skill.
Okay, and what is your specialist skill?
I gotta think on it for a little bit, if that's cool.
Sure.
I know the story I would like to go for Eric.
Oh yeah, what's that?
The first step of the story, I would like to be, I want to grow the crew and become, have the Sons of Eric be a world famous crew.
Okay, so you want something like...
So step 1, I want grow the crew.
What is the thing you're going for, though?
Recruit talented members into the crew.
No, but what's the thing that your story is going to give you at the end?
Oh, I would like an additional point of convince.
Okay, so what's it at now? 4?
It's at 3, so to put it to 4, it has to be a 4-step.
Yep, 4-step. Cool. All right, well, make sure you write that down so that we know. There's actually a box for stories now, I believe. Don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah. So if you go to story, there's actually a character history box. You can just put it in there. So, cool. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's session. It was a good one. I'm really enjoying the system. It's hard to not just fall back onto GM tropes to be like, give me a fucking wisdom check or something like that. So I'm still learning the ropes, as it were, of this game. I feel like this sort of game is like the combat in this works really well. I like it. But yeah, it's definitely hard to get used to just the generic stuff on that. So yeah, the end of the session though, you guys didn't finish with your crew, so unfortunately they're gonna be I guess you lose your the silk hold that you had, so that you pay your crew. And they take that, and you guys don't have anything else left on that. But yeah, good job. Good job. All right, guys. That's where we're going to leave it. We'll see you in a couple hours for the daily stream. But yeah, more of this to come next week, right? You guys are going to be around next week?
Should be.
Yeah. What day is it today?
What about tomorrow?
Yeah, you going to be around tomorrow, Eugene?
Should be.
Cool. James, you going to be around?
Yeah.
Prello? Excellent, excellent. Doc Gust is probably going to be dropping out of Surge as well. So just some medical stuff that's come up, basically. So yeah, that is what it is. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. We out of here. Have a good one. Have a good night. We'll see you in a couple hours. Bye-bye.